I think there definitely is a perception that once you're at Harvard, you're going to be doing nothing but studying. And I think that thought process comes from people not knowing really how Harvard is.
I would say it's a place filled with opportunity. I wouldn't look at us as like, geniuses or super smart people at all. At the end of the day, we're just normal people. The people here are just really passionate about what they do, passionate about what they're learning.
Everyone is here for a reason. They're all very smart and very capable and very driven.
Academics will be challenging and classes are demanding, but the fact that we're here means that we're able to handle all of that and then some. You can definitely see students all over campus pursuing other things besides studies. For us, it's League of Legends.
Being part of the League of Legends team has definitely helped me as a student to find my ground here at Harvard. Having something that you really enjoy and having a community of people that you can really be yourself is really important.
Back in South Korea, a lot of the times the escape for me was gaming. I was at the Esports Association. I got to meet a bunch of people that I wouldn't have otherwise met. And one of the best ways that you can meet people, or at least for me, was through gaming.
Esports culture is pretty new, at least in the North American scene, I think. And the League is a very good example of a culture that is growing.
We're really surprised that there's no club at all. There's nothing gaming related on campus, and I can imagine that it has to be a lot of gamers at Harvard.
We were looking for some way to have all of these gamers get together and have a good time on campus.
Aside from playing the game, we also hang out a lot. We have late night dinner sessions after doing homework. And it's just great to have a group of friends that also happen to share a love of the game.
Helping the esports scene grow and helping gamers feel more united, let it be less stigmatized, being okay with the fact that they play games with their free time.
We just wanted to create a safe, comfortable environment for any and all interested gamers on campus. We wanted to be able to field teams like the uLoL team into these competitive tournaments to sort of make a name for ourselves and also just give people experience of what it's like to be in esports or play in these competitive tournaments.
We as a community are probably one of the fastest growing esports campuses, not only pursuing their academic passions and interests, but also fueling their hobbies as League of Legends, as most of us did when we first founded the organization.
Every school has a different population of gamers, every school has different administration to tackle, but I think if you have the passion and you see that gamers really want and need a community that is well organized, you should definitely go for it. It's been one of the best experiences of my life.
Taking the uLoL championship would be a great start to making our club more established. Yes, we are an institution that really focuses on academics, and yes, we are an institution that you know of as having people that are really smart, but it's not just that. We also have a group of people that are really dedicated to the game, that put a lot of effort into the game, and are willing to make the game happen.
We've definitely put in a lot of time. We've, I think, practiced every week without even missing a single week.
Winning the uLoL campus series would be extremely gratifying to us as a team, just as the first major accomplishment.
It would just show that League is not just about your individual play. It's about teamwork, it's about communication, it's about fostering relationships between teammates. If we win, that'll just be evidence.
Hello everyone and welcome to the uLoL Campus Series. We're coming at you from our studio in Southern California to bring you some thrilling collegiate League of Legends action. I'm Dom Sater-Romer. Joining me is Aiden Zyrene Moon. Zyrene, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's Professor Zyrene today. Call me doctor. School's in session, man.
We'll be sure to do that a little bit later on. But you just saw in that feature, Harvard is getting geared up for their match to come in just a few minutes. But first, if you think you've got what it takes to compete with your own local college organization, join the 1v1 me, bro. It's the 1v1 marksman-only campus tournament.
Yes, of course, you can win gin, and if you get that first place, have some juice, too. It's on you. But there's 1,600 RP for the first place prize, second place 1,200 RP, and third place walks away with 800. But everybody walks away with an IP boost. So even if you don't think you can win the top tournament or place at all, you can still get a lot of extra things to help you get those champions, but also you'll meet some friends there, too. Yeah. Dynamic queue's a thing now, so get some help.
Yeah, you just might need it with the new queue. And of course, if you want to find out more information, you saw the URL on the bottom, bit.ly/findclubs. Now, before we get into the game, let's take a look at the uLoL Campus Series standings. It's week number 4, and there's been some big movement from our 500 teams down to 32, 8 in each conference. We're starting to see some people pull ahead.
Yes, and you see them at the top there. Robert Morris University, SUNY at Stony Brook, and University of British Columbia currently undefeated, having 9 points, which is the perfect score so far. Of course, there are 4 more more weeks, counting this one since it's a 7-week tournament, but those people who are near the bottom, those teams, they still have a chance because the top 4 teams from each conference move on to the conference playoffs where they play to find out who is the best in each conference, and then each conference's representative plays in the uLoL Campus Series Championship to see who is the best college NA.
And that's all for a piece of a $660,000 prize pool in scholarships for the players. Taking a look at our schedule, last week we watched University of British Columbia go 2-0 versus Simon Fraser University in that crosstown rivalry. But now we're returning back to the States for a crosstown rivalry of our own. It's Harvard versus Boston University.
Yeah, it's crosstown rivalry. They're about 1.5 miles from each other, but technically one of them is actually in Cambridge, not Boston, of course.
Yeah.
But
it's about a 5-minute drive between the two. We're going to go ahead and call it a crosstown rivalry. And of course, if you're interested in the uLoL Campus Series or finding a club near you, head on over to ulol.leagueoflegends.com for more information on the teams, the players, and what uLoL is trying to do with this. But now that means that we've got all that out of the way. We could talk about this match between Harvard and Boston University. And this looks to be an exciting one.
yes, it does. Of course, they have a history, as both colleges were kind of rivals, but the League of Legends club, it sinks down and it comes down to that too, because every time these teams have fought each other, Boston University has come out on top, and Harvard hasn't been able to pull out a single win. So this matchup actually means more to Harvard than just 1 point or 3 points in that column. They want to reverse the precedent that has been set of them losing every single time to Boston.
Yeah, fingers are crossed for them, but running through the rosters. First up, it's Harvard University. They are in the top lane, Foho Bear. In the jungle, you've got Barbecue Q. In the mid lane, Young J Kim. AD carry is Jason Shen, not Justin. Sorry about that. And on support, it's South Korea.
The whole nation of South Korea, of course, helping them in support. They're going to need it, though, because Boston University, like I said, they've beaten them every single time on Harvard's side. But Boston looks a little bit different now. They lost one of their star players in their jungler, and they've had to dig deep into their roster to find all the way down to their third-string jungler, who's making his uLoL debut today. Of course, their roster is as follows. In the top lane, it is Eddie Spaghetti. Making his uLoL debut, maybe he'll be able to predict your jungle routes, it's Madlife Smurf. In the middle, it is Yellow. At AD carry, it is Crown Me. And on support, it is Growlin.
Yeah, very strong roster for this team. And, you know, as you've mentioned, they've got a bit of a history. These two teams, they're very close. They play a lot with each other. And Boston University has traditionally come out on top, winning all of these matches. But Boston doesn't have their jungler. They're down to their third-string substitute in this game. Yeah,
Madlife Smurf, he's going to have to be able to pull out something new for the team. Of course, both teams are actually very low in the standings. Both of them are sitting around 1 point for Harvard University and then 3 points for Boston University. So Boston a little bit ahead, but if Harvard's able to pull out the 2-0 today, then they can jump up to 4 points and pass them, because both of these teams are actually jockeying for that 4th place spot. They have tempered expectations. They sit around going, well, we're about a 5th, 6th place team. But York, Boston University, and Harvard University are the 3 teams that are really competing for that last conference playoff spot.
Yeah, so we'll see who is going to be the ones who end up getting that spot. But we're about ready to get into picks and bans. You can see it on your screen right now. Harvard taking on Boston. First up, it's Jace banned away from Boston University. And with the history that these two teams have had, a lot of these players, they're familiar with each other. They're focused a lot on their preparation.
Yes, of course, the Harvard University team has been around a very long time. They go back multiple years, winning a bunch of tournaments way back in the day. We're talking 2013, 2014 for these guys. So this squad is very practiced together. Their newest member of Foho Bear in the top lane came around in about September. So he actually solidified the roster. They were looking for a top laner to come in and make sure that everybody stops changing positions, because like their support is their shot caller, but he used to be their mid laner. And now their mid laner is their secondary shot caller, and he used to play a different role in the team. So they've basically been playing musical roles until Foho Bear came around, and then everything got solidified. So they are feeling very confident on Harvard's side.
It's like musical lanes. Once they pick all of their champions, they just keep trading until they actually get into game. So now with Foho Bear locking that down, Harvard feels pretty confident with their team. But Boston, on the other hand, we've mentioned they've lost their jungler, who was their star player. This could be a moment of weakness for them.
It could be, and that's why Harvard are confident as well. They think it's their time to strike and that they're on the rise as Boston University's on the decline. But Boston, they do like their team fight or their laning phase still, despite not having that early game pressure jungler that they had, their star from before. But that's going to let up some pressure on Harvard, who don't really like their laning phase. They favor their preparation and their team fighting. So Harvard, when I talked to them, they said the school's about 6,000 students. There isn't a big pool of players and talent to actually pull from. So they actually favor their biggest strength as not being something mechanical in game. They think they're going to get out-mechanicked by a lot of these teams, but they think their preparation is what makes it for them. And they think that coming into the match and having these strategies prepared, their pick ban, as well as what they're going to be able to do mid-late game, that's how they're going to come out with victories here, despite being more or less inferior players in terms of MMR and ELO.
Yeah. So we'll see if Harvard can pull out the win. As you can see, bans, we've already gone through all 6 of them. Jace, Callista, and Tom Kench taken away from Boston, while Graves, Master Yi, and Malphite taken away from Harvard, and a first pick Rek'Sai.
Of course, that is one of the early game junglers taken away here that Harvard does not want to go against on the side of Boston University, but he still locks in Elise here for Mad Life Smurf, so there's still that pressure. And to basically fill in, guys, everybody out there on the collegiate scene, it's more about banning out champions from a certain player. These guys are not professional players. They don't spend all day playing the game. So you don't end up with players who have these super deep champion pools and play off the tier list, right? We're not seeing a Quinn ban here. We're not even seeing a Lulu ban here. We're seeing a lot of things being left open, but it's because people only have a champion pool like you or me, where we don't play everything in our role.
It's the comfort. I've got maybe 4 or 5 champions that I'm going to play, and limiting that pool appropriately is how Harvard looks to get an advantage. Now, Boston University, as you mentioned, taking Caitlyn and Elise, Mad Life Smurf. Hopefully he'll be landing some mad cocoons in this one. And Harvard looked to answer. You talked a little bit about that Lulu, currently being hovered by Barbecue Q. We'll see if he decides to lock it in. And looks like that could be Corki, could be Jinx.
Yeah.
Just about a second left to settle in.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the Jinx here, so they're running a protection composition here along the side of the Jinx. Jason Shen going to be leading that up. I don't know where this Lulu's going to go, though, because it is collegiate. It could be a support Lulu for South Korea, but, of course, big flex pick there for the side of Harvard University. I do like double AD comps with Lulu, though.
Yeah. Well, so he was already hovering the Corki. There's a chance that he might return to it, but Boston... It could be a mind game. You know, this is Harvard that we're talking about. We'll hover the Corki for 50 seconds, and at the last 10, we'll switch it to Jinx. So they think we're prioritizing it. See, that's actually what I do in dynamic queue, because you can pre-lock in your champion, and it shows it the other team. So whenever I'm in the mid lane, I pre-lock in Aatrox.
Is that like the
So
first 40 seconds, or when you're talking
for the
about...
first 40 seconds, yes.
Oh, the other team can't see that.
Yeah, they can. So the first
enemy team?
Yeah, when it switches over to you, you can see what they hovered before, and they can just instant lock it.
Yeah.
So you can sort of mind game them a little bit.
Yeah, when it comes over to your turn, then they can see it.
then you swap it over.
Yeah.
But you just give it a little mind game. Wait for the last second. Like, is it Aatrox in the mid lane? Who does that? Nobody does that.
Aatrox is my boy, though.
Yeah. But Boston University, they go for their next 2 picks. It's not going to be Aatrox.
Nope.
It's going to be Twisted Fate and Janna.
Yeah, Twisted Fate here for Yellow. He's going to be able to kind of affect the map, and he is the best player on the team of Boston University when you ask the team who they think is their star currently. So Yellow is going to be able to make that spill over to some other lanes and apply pressure. I think this is a great pickup for him. And alongside the Caitlyn Janna lane. The Caitlyn Janna lane is very oppressive. It's a long-range, high-damage early laning that has a lot of bully potential, especially against the Jinx, who's going to get poked out of lane pretty consistently.
And this is sort of what we expected from Boston University. They mentioned that their strength was their laning phase. They've got a bully bottom lane. They've got a roaming mid laner, early ganks from Elise. Harvard might be in trouble, but looking to shore up that early game weakness with a late game hyperscaling Shen, and now Victor in the mid lane.
Yeah, and Rise and Victor here. So wave clear taken care of, scaling taken care of. It is going to be a Lulu to the bottom lane on support. So the matchup of Janna, Caitlyn versus Lulu Jinx isn't that skewed because Lulu gives you a lot of trading potential and can trade herself as a gigantic force with her picks. So looking for that last lock-in here, what they're going to play into the Rise here, because the top lane Rise for Foho Bear, it could scale incredibly well. So I want to see what's in the champion pool here for Eddie Spaghetti, because I know that these are both top laners who like to play things like Jax, who like to take over the game with Jace and stuff.
Yeah, this is a bit interesting for Boston University. So far, 3 of their lanes are bullies. Let's see if it turns into a 4th. I include jungle as a lane. I don't discriminate.
Thank you.
Aurelia being looked at now by Eddie Spaghetti, and what better way to shut it down with something like an Aurelia into that Rise. We'll see if he decides to lock it in. 3 seconds left. This could be the Boston saying, like, hey, Harvard mind gamed us.
Oh, no, I think that's going to be an Aurelia here into the Rise. Yeah. It used to be a really good pick into the Rise because you're able to actually do a lot of true damage to him. Your passive ends up reducing his duration of his root, so you're able to get out of it and not be perma-rooted. Of course, Merc Treads are not as effective. Merc Treads are kind of the less superior boot now that people are going for because it costs so much and the effectiveness of the tenacity is down. So I want to see what Eddie Spaghetti here does. And if he actually has a mechanical edge over Foho Bear, despite the matchup being the way it is in the current state of Rise.
Yeah, and just like most competitive leagues, we are on 6.2 right now, so you got to watch out for those Swifties everywhere, for those Boots of Lucidities all over. Frosty Queen's not quite as good as it was.
Yes, people are going to be going for Morello Nomicon, Abyssal Scepter, back to the Rod of Ages. Athene's Unholy Grail is still not that common, even in matchups where you're playing against somebody who's going to be magic damage, mostly because of the fact that Abyssal Scepter is such a good buy and it's very cheap that Morello Nomicon pretty much you buy that and then you're over and you're on your way to going towards that magic resistance. So I think it's a little overkill to actually get the Athenes now if you're going to go for an Abyssal anyway.
Yeah, well, we want to know who you think is going to end up taking the win. Tweet at uLoL with hashtag BUWin or hashtag HARVARD win. Yeah.
Yeah. We basically say, hey, you know what? Send us a hashtag. It can be at least five minimum counting win. And Harvard's just like, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
Like, what? They're the student that shows up with the 2,000 word essay when it's like minimum 1,000.
Yeah.
Overachieving
You
even
just
in their
couldn't
hashtags.
stop. You just got to get that one more page, and it was like, oh, now I can loop it back into my thesis. It's working for Harvard. So we'll see if their preparation works off. Again, the mind games.
Oh, my God.
I think
Hashtag Harvard win.
because now you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would actually, like, if I'm making a tweet at uLoL, how much I'm actually going to use in terms of content, how many characters I'm actually going to use.
Yeah, that's a lot of
if you're
characters.
just showing your support, you're like, Harvard's got this. Hashtag Harvard win. It could even be Harvard win because they're the best school in the world, and even their hashtag is Ivy League. Maybe that all fits. I don't know.
But then if you run it on characters, it would be hashtag Harvard win. They're going to win because they're the best school in the league. Because you're missing those precious few letters.
Yeah.
We have loaded onto the Rift, as you can tell. Everybody's rushing out of base as quickly as possible. Getting a bit of mastery spam as well as 5 members jockeying for position. Oh, Jason, you forgot your items.
Uh-oh. I mean, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. Jason, I mean, you called him Justin in the top
did.
5 highlight plays last week. So he's already tilted coming into this game.
Yeah, well, he's just trying to make a name for himself now. the correct name.
Well, that's not the right foot to start off on if you aren't buying your items right out of the gate.
Okay, so we'll see if Jason, not Justin, can pull this off this game around. Both duo laners are on the bottom side of the map. Defensive lines are prepared. Boston University did get a ward in the pixel bush to keep an eye on any sort of invade shenanigans. Might have been something, but AD carry with no items might have made that a little bit more difficult. And our junglers look to both start on this bottom side of the map.
Both going to start on the bottom side, which means that both AD carry support lanes are not going to have an early jungle camp start. So they're going to meet each other in lane. I actually would think that you would want to start a camp on both of these sides because I think that Caitlyn with a Janna, you really just have a very easy way to take the Gromp. You have a very effective shield. And then the bottom side, you have Lulu. Like these would be easy takings of these camps, but they're just going to leash for their junglers and be good teammates.
Yeah. Generally, that's an important thing to see that happen. The junglers are being leashed, heading over towards their primary buffs as the duos head on down into bottom lane. Eddie Spaghetti. Ooh, his knees aren't weak and his palms are not sweaty. He's taking the corrupting potion to look to trade with Foho Bear.
The corrupty potion.
The corrupty potion.
Everything
gets the
end
E.
there.
Yeah.
Eddie
Because they're
Spaghetti.
Swifty Boots, it's Frosty Queens.
That doesn't end with an E.
But it's Frosty is a word.
That's true. That's true.
And it sounds very similar. Wow, Eddie Spaghetti. He's going pretty hard with this corrupting potion. Foho's Bear going through his potions quick.
He's trying to trade as much as he possibly can, and he's using the Q effectively. Now that the E is available for Eddie Spaghetti, which I think he's going would be his second level up here. Of course, he can go for the W and just try to get the true damage trade. But shield on Crown Main. You want to get that off.
Ooh, makes it over the chompers just in time. Lots of damage traded down to Harvard University's bottom lane.
And Foho Bear actually has E and W right now, so he doesn't have the skill shot in order to CS. It's a big disadvantage for him.
Yeah, Eddie Spaghetti goes aggressive. Corrupting
got flash,
potion is burning, but Foho Bear is going to be able to walk to safety. Even Mad Life Smurf is on this side of the map, but so too is Barbecue Q.
Yeah, I think that not having the Q at this point for Foho Bear is really hurting him. Maybe he took the E to try and wave clear early and get an advantage, but it's definitely hurting him in this lane. They're both out of potions. Level 3 here for Foho Bear, so now he has his full combo, but Mad Life Smurf pretty much hanging out in the top lane.
Yeah, he really wants this kill. Barbecue Q has already given up on it and roamed down towards the mid lane. Snare finds Eddie Spaghetti. This is a pretty big wave.
Yeah, it's a gigantic wave, and it's going to come into Foho Bear's turret range. And if he can pick up some of this, he'll actually be fine in CS and pretty much be no worse for wear. You'll have to have a later back timing than Eddie Spaghetti. We'll see what Eddie does if he TPs back into lane, if he decides to walk. I think he has a good timer to just walk it out.
Yeah, luckily he was able to heal up quite a bit under the turret with those health potions. So Eddie Spaghetti looks like he's heading now to the top lane. It's so fun to say his name. I just realized, like, we've been talking about top lane. Every time one of us has to, like, starts talking, we say Eddie Spaghetti.
Yep. Of course, Eddie Spaghetti walking back to that top lane. Foho Bear, he's a little bit afraid. I think that what he was doing was pretty much playing it safe, making sure that Aurelia's not hanging out in a bush, and still afraid of the fact that he could kill him. So Foho Bear didn't fast shove the wave. Foho Bear is pretty much keeping that wave top pretty tempered.
Yeah, looks like a ward is going to go down, and the junglers continue to clear it out as it's pretty calm just about everywhere else. Young J Kim was getting some action in mid lane. Eddie gets some damage onto Foho, tries to bully him out, succeeds, but that's Rise with teleport.
Yeah, but if you burn the teleport from Foho Bear, then Eddie Spaghetti has that advantage to make a play on the bot side. And the laning phase of Boston University, if they can keep that TP, have an advantage there, and then Yellow gets his ultimate, then you're looking at 2 TPs to the bot lane with only 1 to possibly answer it.
I had no idea that teleport proc tier. I saw that he got tier. I was watching him in the base to see if he teleported and he started. Well, maybe he cast a spell, but there's action in the bottom. More important than that, South Korea running for his life, takes a bit of damage. Mad Life Smurf chases forward, the slowest chase of all time. And South Korea gets out alive.
Yeah, blowing a flash there from South Korea. No exhaust going down. That's the only summoner spell that was burnt in that entire exchange. But level 5 to level 4 here, the Foho Bear. Not really getting too much out of these trades as Rise. He has the tier. He's looking for the scaling up. He's going to go for Rod of Ages second. But he does start winning this matchup because Rise is crazy.
Because Rise, that's
no,
the reason. Rise is just crazy.
Like, this is a matchup that usually will go in Aurelia's favor, but we're talking usually about a year and a half ago. So right now, it's so difficult to deal with a Rise because he scales incredibly well. He already turns on early game, so he's not that person who has the weak laning phase.
Looks like Mad Life Smurf looks for a bit more action in the bottom lane. Jason Shen and South Korea trying to clear this out. They don't have a ward.
Yeah, Mad Life Smurf is behind them right now. Eddie Spaghetti, though, did use his TP to the top lane, and Yellow has his TP, but not level 6 just yet. Very close. And there he goes.
Yeah, just now gets level 6. So too does Young J Kim, so 4 teleports in this. We could see a lot of movement around the map.
Yeah, Harvard are playing this rather safe early. They're not extending. They're trying to get vision control with their pink wards. See one in the pixel brush up at the top side. But Young J Kim, as I say that, a little too far forward as Smurf comes in.
Yeah, Mad Life finds him. He's getting some good damage. Tries to bully him out. Will he be able to lock him down? Yes, Young J Kim goes down.
Yeah, no flash there from Young J Kim at all. Level 6 though for Eddie Spaghetti. And Foho Bear's going to try to kite back.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage coming across. Eddie Spaghetti forces the flash out of Foho Bear.
Yep, no level 6 available. You need that level 6.
Oh, but here comes Twisted Fate. He's going to land the stun under the turret and pick up a kill.
Oh, Yellow, the player on the squad of Boston University that's trying to open this game up. 2 kills to him immediately in a big burst at 7 minutes in the game. And he gets Harvard's pretty much 1,000 gold deficit here by making those proactive plays.
Very solid movements out of Boston, flipping a switch, the constant aggression, shoving in the bottom lane, trying to keep pace with Victor in the mid, pushing Foho Bear out. He's still level 5. He's only just now spawned, and he still has no teleport.
Yep, and teleport was used from Young J Kim to catch the top lane wave, and that means there's a teleport advantage for Yellow in the mid lane here as he works towards his Rod of Ages and needs that scaling time. But here comes the
Brownie's not in a good spot. He's forced to dash away. Teleport from Yellow is in fact canceled. Growlin does have his flash. Let's see if he can get out of this one. Barbecue Q not able to connect the knockout.
I believe what happened there is Young J Kim used his ulti to interrupt Yellow's TP because it stops channels on that, which was a lot of fun in Challenger last week. figuring that out in the exact moment. Because when I see a Victor walking towards somebody with TP, it's like, oh, he has no time to use the gravity field. It's like, oh, but wait a second.
He has an ultimate.
Chaos Storm.
Cancels channeling.
Yep. Great. And interrupting Fiddlesticks, interrupting TPs is probably the best use of it because that's a very long cooldown.
Ooh, Yellow gets some good damage. Thunderlords lands, and he makes it out of the stun as well. Young Kim burning through his potions as quickly as possible, but that's a 2-0 Twisted Fate.
Yes, and Twisted Fate pretty much gets that bonus CAS gold, so he's going to be in a great spot no matter what. But it's only a 500 gold, 600 gold difference here, and there's a big wave for Foho Bear to pick up top. So despite Harvard being at a disadvantage, if they're only about 600 gold behind during the laning phase, then they're okay with that. They have a lot of preparation under their belt. They understand that they're going to get off to an early game deficit and be behind, but they were mostly afraid of early game jungling. They were mostly afraid of all lanes being effective, and that hasn't happened just yet, so they're looking for the scaling.
We've seen Mad Life Smurf all across the map. The fact that he tried ganking top, wasn't able to find anything, ganked bottom, forced a flash, ganked mid, got a kill. Things are looking good for Boston University.
red buff!
And
No! No! Barbecue Q, how could you?
Betrayal, snagging that away. Dragon now being looked at by Boston University. Zap comes across. There goes the Grotto Lance. Mad Life Smurf holds on to the smite. Dragon secure.
Pretty sure Young Kim right now does not have that blue buff because Barbecue Q sitting at 100 HP, 120, and he just wants to smack it one more time. And you know that red buff is going to steal it. He's just trying to help, but no, see, no blue buff. Happy Rek'Sai, but a little extra AP for the Prey Seeker.
Yeah. Yellow's looking a little bit dangerous there as he's relatively low health. Has a catalyst, could be looking for the level up for sustain. Finally going to back away as Mad Life Smurf is there to catch anything that Young Kim might shove. Crown Me and Growlin continuing to shove in the bottom lane, but Jason Shen has been keeping up and is in fact ahead in CS as he continues to trade away down there.
Yeah, I don't think you have to trade.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Wild Growth just in case.
Yep, Wild Growth better than flashing in front of it, of course, because the cooldown difference. So South Korea making the right play there. And no Summoner Spell burn from Jason Shen either, so not burning the heal and not burning the flash to reposition. Correct play on that one for the defensive, but I think that it was the wrong play to trade in the first place. I think that trading with this Caitlyn and this Janna is a bad decision, especially in the current state of Caitlyn, where she does bonus extra headshot damage and stuff on trap. Foho Bear, though.
Oh, he's in trouble. Cocoon finds him. He's taking a lot of damage. Eddie Spaghetti picks up a kill.
Yeah, a little too far forward there, and that's another kill over to BU. So 3 kills ahead with that 1,000 gold lead. Foho Bear does have his TP, but he might have to use it as soon as he gets back up to catch this minion wave under the turret. He's being fast shoved.
Looks like a problem for Boston as bottom lane is being fast shoved as well. Jason Shen back up to full health, healing off of that Doran's Blade.
Yeah. The reason I don't think he should trade either on Jason Shen's side is I know you have the Lulu, and I know you really want to just use the Pix passive, but you win as Jinx if you just farm. You don't have to win the lane by actually killing the Caitlyn. You'll hit these power spikes that Caitlyn pretty much dreams about, and Caitlyn becomes this anti-siege character and this choke point god. But Jinx is pretty much a team fighter through and through, so you really don't have to fight.
And that's what we're seeing out of Harvard's comp. The fact that they are running Victor, Ryze, Lulu, they want to group and fight, just not now.
Yeah. Just not yet. Just wait a little bit.
Yeah, speaking of fighting, Eddie Spaghetti's like, ding, fighting time.
Yeah, he's got the Ionian Boots of Lucidity for the cooldown reduction to make sure that he's able to have that stun up a little more frequently, the Equilibrium Strike, but the Sheen and the Phase almost completed in comparison to just a Catalyst and a Tear. So no lot of Aegis stacking up just yet for the top laner Foho Bear, but there's only one in Yellow's inventory, and that's a very early power spike for Twisted Fate. And Twisted Fate needs to hit these power spikes pretty much as soon as possible, because you get to the point where you, with Thunderlords, you one combo an AD carry.
Yeah, you did mention how Yellow has that Rod of Ages. He's putting some pressure down. Flash stun into the turret. Eddie finds him too. They're doing a lot of damage. Young Kim doesn't have his flash. He's just about to get it. The card! Oh no, Young Kim.
Oh, walk back into it. Oh, I think he had flash in like 1 or 2 seconds as well.
So unfortunate. Not quite able to get to safety. And again, Boston University with the early laning aggression. They've got another kill.
Yep, 4 kills over to BU. And that's about a 2,700 gold lead, or 2,000 gold lead now. Sorry, I don't go to Harvard.
1,700.
The 1,700 gold lead. And Warrior Enchant here for Barbecue. So an aggressive build, not the Cinder Hulk that you would expect in this composition that doesn't have a tank. So it's quite offensive. I personally disagree with it, but I want to see how it works out for him, because if you're able to get these 2v2 skirmishes, Warrior Rek'Sai is really strong, especially since it's not a Runic Echoes Elise on the side of Mad Light Smurf.
South Korea takes an ace in the hole. He's chunked down to below 200 health.
Did his job, though.
But he holds on to the Wild Growth, and with Rek'Sai down there as well.
Yep, cleared out the ward that was going to spot Rek'Sai, so Barbecue Q's into position to gank, but so is Mad Life Smurf.
Good map sense from Mad Life Smurf. Let's see if he can turn this around. Crown me. Looking for a bit of bait. Here's Barbecue Q. They're pulling it in. Mad Life Smurf turns it around. The Cocoon goes wide, and Barbecue Q gets chunked low. Meanwhile, Young J Kim is caught again as Eddie Spaghetti roams. There goes the Destiny. They're diving for this one. Another kill, Boston University.
And no kill goes down in the bot lane on either side, but they pick up Young J Kim in the mid lane. And oh man, he's just getting picked on now. Yellow 4-0. He has 80% of his team's kills right now. He's just doing a fantastic job. It looks like that Lich Bane will be what's in store for him next for the CDR and the auto attack. He can get to a place where with his TP and his Destiny Gate, he's going to become a split-pushing Twisted Fate. Or he can just run in and pretty much kill these squishies with the combo. He's so far ahead.
Yeah, some good variability for that Twisted Fate as he's now shoving this mid tier 1 turret. And Eddie Spaghetti, despite roaming to the mid lane already, he's up in CS by quite a bit. 2 waves, 16 now as Foho Bear is trying to push it back, and he's even baiting another one.
Yeah, and that's a large minion wave. That minion wave is going to get shoved out here. But Eddie Spaghetti going for offensive.
Yeah, lands the stun. Foho Bear's chunked down to half. He's trying to turn it around
And the
in the
minion
combo.
wave, though, no mana.
Eddie Spaghetti doesn't have any mana. He's getting low. This could be bad. Oh, it's so close. He doesn't get it. Yellow goes down simultaneously in the mid lane as there's a coordinated gank from Harvard.
And Harvard University strike back with 2 kills for nothing in response. They're going to try to shove up this mid wave. They got some of those members chunked out. Maybe they'll be able to actually do some damage to this turret if they want to stick around. But you do have to watch out for the Twisted Fate and the Aurelia TPs.
Yeah, mid-tier 1 has gone down for Harvard University. They're going to secure blue for themselves now, but their mid-tier 1 for Boston is still up, so not quite able to take it.
I love how Barbecue Q that time kept it at 200 HP. So
And then just stopped.
he's like, all right.
S.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what you do. You sit there, you're just like, last time, I screwed up. I know. This time, 500 HP next time. You know, it's like, oh, it just gets higher and higher. Now it requires 2 spells, 3 spells. Use your ultimate on this one, man.
Eventually, he's just going to walk over there, and Victor's still going to solo it. All right, Dragon has spawned 16 minutes into the game. The first did go to Boston. They don't have teleport on Eddie Spaghetti, but Foho Bear has his own, so he's going to go answer that shove. But he's got that teleport. This could be an opportunity for Harvard.
Yeah, Harvard University looking for possibly countering this dragon, but the dragon, they already have Eddie Spaghetti en route. So no TP on him, but he's still coming down from the top lane to go towards this dragon. So if he actually commits to this, Foho Bear can pick up some CS, Foho Bear can continue to shove the top lane, and also clear out the pink ward. So I think that this is fine for Foho Bear. He'll make Eddie Spaghetti lose some CS. Second dragon is not a huge deal, so it's okay to let it go.
Yeah, Dragon number 2 picked up for Boston University. Better turret pressure. That's going to make Twisted Fate quite happy as Aurelia's like, oh no, I forgot, top lane.
Yeah, Foho Bear has to be careful though, because Twisted Fate's just going to come up behind him if he continues this.
There is a pink ward that will spot Yellow roaming. There it goes, the Destiny Gate. Foho Bear's trying to sprint for his life, but he's pinned between them. Lots of damage comes across. Shield buys him some time, but Eddie Spaghetti gets the kill.
Ugh, and Young J Kim TPs to the turret, not to the minion wave that Foho Bear had so far up. So a TP burned as well from the victor here, but still 1,200, 1,700 gold lead. I was going to say 2,000 first, and I threw it up. This is why we can't do math on stream.
It's 1,700.
It happened when Jat and Freak were talking about it, and they usually you can't do math on stream. It's rather difficult, but they were like, yeah, we can, and I screwed it up again.
Oh. Well, the secret is to just not mess up your math.
It's 1,700 now. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to keep referencing the gold now just to prove myself. I can do it! It's 2,000 right now! 1,900! What, 2,000?
It's pretty close. Probably about
15 billion!
Anyways, 18 minutes into the game, that gold for Boston University has resulted in some pretty big pickups. Triforce finished for Eddie Spaghetti, Lichbane completed, and a Zeal before finishing off the IE item for Crown Me. These are some big spikes we're seeing.
Yeah, so watch out here, though.
Oh, just got to auto-attack the pink ward one more time.
And new
what
pink
are
ward
we
comes down.
That's actually my favorite thing to do. I carry multiple pink wards,
Yes.
and someone will be clearing my pink ward. When it gets to the last hit, I'll just drop the new one and deny the gold.
But you have to drop the new one in a good place. Because, if I'm really bitter and I'm like, it's a game that's pretty much over, and I'm like 0-6, and my team is feeding as well, then I'll just buy them. I'll put them out there, and then when somebody's killing them, I just place one in my base.
Yeah.
No. But the best part is watching the person be like, what? It had 3 hits left.
Where'd it go?
Like, that's my favorite, is when it has like 3 hits left, and they're just like,
Pink wards don't time out, do they? Speaking of timing out, a minute before Rift Herald disappears, it goes down early. Eddie Spaghetti secures it with Mad Life Smurf. I'm not sure who ended up getting the buff.
Yeah, no call out on that. We'll see, though. If it goes to the jungler, then it's correct. If it goes to the top laner, then Eddie Spaghetti's just going
Says
to be...
the jungler.
Yes, of course. It's my buff. It's in my lane. I consider,
Your lane?
I consider the river my lane as a jungler.
okay,
You said we get a lane, so that's our lane.
Theoretical.
A theoretical lane?
Yeah, like a hypothetical lane.
Oh, a hypothetical. Okay.
It's not an actual
It's not a lane.
location.
It's not a lane. It's a jungle.
Okay. With Eddie Spaghetti diving already, Foho Bear joins up with Yellow, and Yellow brings him low.
Yeah, they're picking on the newest member in that top lane of Foho Bear. Recently came over to the Harvard team back in September. Crown Me, though.
Ooh, exhaust blocks him down. He's getting
South
junk
Korea.
low, looking for the auto attack. There goes the Monsoon. Growlin saves his carry, but there's still a Super Mega Death Rocket. Meanwhile, they're still diving. Growlin trades his life for his carry. He had Flash, but there's the get excited. It might not be enough. Teleport from Yellow as he's trying to catch up. Caitlyn turning it back around.
And that is such a huge push in the top side from Boston University. They get 2 turrets down, and they just keep going. They got Youngjae Kim and Foho Bear. They might get even more off of this.
Oh, so much damage. Yellow and Crown Me are trying to chunk through the turret, but they just can't quite do it. And as you mentioned, yes, 2 turrets and 2 kills on the other side of the map. Boston University are turning up the heat.
Yep. Boston University, Eddie Spaghetti gets himself a Hex Drinker, and looks like he's going to be going for Sterix. And this is actually a very interesting thing about the Sterix Trinity Force combo, because Sterix gives you plus 25% of your base attack damage, and when you're enraged, it's 50%. But Trinity Force, the extra Spellblade passive on it is your base damage multiplied by 200%. So it actually makes it so when you have a Sterix, Trinity Force is 250%, and when you're enraged, it's 300%. So it actually is very massive and multiplicative on top of that. So normally you're just like, oh, I don't have an AD ratios. Well, there's a base damage ratio here for that Spellblade on the Trinity Force.
Yeah, a terrifying setup for Harvard University to deal with. That Aurelius 3-1-4, Yellow's Twisted Fate 5-1-2. And we're not seeing a lot of kills in the bottom lane, but they've been putting on consistent pressure to Jason and South Korea, trying to delay that late game jinx as much as possible. And now that all of those outer turrets are gone, this could be Boston University's chance to look for some pressure.
Yeah, and Boston University playing the laning phase correctly with the Twisted Fate, just affecting the side lanes, especially affecting that top side. Yellow, they said he was the best player. He definitely seems like he's the best player on his team. He's got the map pressure kind of in his head. I believe he's also the shot caller of the team, too. Actually, no, the top laner, Eddie Spaghetti's the shot caller. So no wonder Yellow keeps going to that top side. Eddie Spaghetti's like, do you have TP?
Come top.
Do you have Destiny? Come top.
Some traps being cleared out by Harvard as they push back the pressure of Boston. Grouped up as 5 in the mid lane. Could be looking for some action. Eddie Spaghetti has got his teleport. There are awards available for a flank. It's past 20 minutes. He's got home guard. This could be a fight. No, now he's running down, and Twisted Fate shows in the bottom. They might have to seed this turret.
Yeah, grouped as 5, so this is the fight that Harvard University is looking for, because they think their composition is better suited to it. But I think it might be too little too late, especially with these small items that they have in their inventories. Youngjae Kim has nothing completed besides his boots alongside Distortion, and then he has the second upgrade of his Hex Core, followed by what looks like the workings of a Death Cap.
Very scary spike. Looks like Harvard University know that they've got the team fight comp. They shove forward, trying to take the mid-tier 1. The minion wave is cleared once again, but Twisted Fate's on the other side of the map. South Korea is actually going to take some poke from Mad Life, and the tier 2 is gone. There's no response. Foho Bear caught in a trap, chunked down to half of his HP. This is a very tricky situation. Ace in the Hole's even going to find him. Boston are looking to turn this around. They turn onto South Korea. He goes down. There's the Destiny Gate. Here's Twisted Fate collapsing. Yellow card finds Young J Kim. The flash auto from Jana secures it. Eddie Spaghetti with the double kill. Gets a triple kill now. And Boston University are shredding through Harvard. They're diving onto Barbecue Q. He goes down. Yellow snags the Quadra away. And this is a huge play for Boston.
Yeah, not quite.
Clear the minion,
Eddie,
dude. What are you doing? He's trying to go 1v1 with a Rise, which is the most dangerous thing in the world. He's too far away, but Crownme's over the wall. He's trying to turn it around. The shield and the Seraph's Embrace. He's trying to get it, but Foho Bear gets out alive.
Oh, and Crown Me just becoming very aggressive there. Eddie Spaghetti giving the shutdown over, but it doesn't matter. They have this Lichbane Twisted Fate that I talked about way earlier in the game, where after he picked up the Sheen, he's just a gigantic split push threat. His teleport will be up, his gate will be up for the next time that he wants to make a play. And Boston University went aggressive, and they picked up South Korea before they even had a collapse. So that was a 4v5 where they were able to get poked out there.
Oh, some pings now going onto the Baron, as it looks like Harvard University are headed in that direction. Dragon 3 being secured. Destiny's not available for another minute. This could be Harvard getting back into this. There's no vision from Boston University.
Yeah, no blue trinkets either. Just kind of see this sneaky attempt here.
Yeah, there goes the teleport. Eddie Spaghetti knows that something's happening. He's rushing around to try to get into the pit. He sees Jason Chen. There goes the gravity field to try to keep him away. It falls off. It's 500. Baron is secured by Harvard University, but there goes the chase. They're turning onto Eddie. He's trying to buy some time for the rest of his team. Teleport from Twisted Fate is trying to get the inhibitor. There's a recall coming out from South Korea. Can they stop this recall long enough? There's a teleport now from, I believe that's Rise to try to get onto him.
Yeah, you can pretty much just back with the 4 seconds of Baron buff and then run over there, and it would be pretty equivalent to what that teleport was doing. So I think that was a little bit gratuitous, not necessary, and the Baron call from Harvard actually works out for them and that gets them a little bit back in this game. It is still hard to siege. The Caitlyn can keep you off of these turrets, and the Janna can shield the turrets, so every time you walk up to it, you're not getting as much effective damage as you would like. But Jason Shen, the Jinx, a great sieger, so we'll see what happens here. No TP on Eddie, and Yellow only has Destiny Gate now to help him get in.
That's about a 7,000 gold lead in favor of Boston University, getting closer and closer towards a number that will be able to push Harvard into the ground and take the win. With the Baron buff, they might finally be able to take this mid-tier 1 turret. Despite the shield, the Eye of the Storm, it's not enough. Mid-tier 1 is secured. The second turret for Harvard University, 26 minutes into the game.
God, it's so hard to step on these traps. If you step on the trap, you eat a bonus damage headshot that's 1300 range from Caitlyn. So
plus the rapid fire cannon.
And you don't want to take that at all. And guess what? You take it, boom, there goes another trap. Straight down. Oh, the recharge timer on those things with rank. That's why you max trap second on Caitlyn, because the sieging potential is just huge.
MJ, Kim, and Barbecue clear out those traps and siege forward, but already a new trap line is being set. Eddie Spaghetti takes some poke in the front, but the mid-tier 2 is still standing. Waves split pushing in both the top and bottom for Boston University. They're going to have to answer, as they could be setting up a death bush right here. Foho Bears trying to bait Boston forward. These are the mind games we expected out of Boston, but Frosty Queen spots them right out.
Yep, and of course, Yellow has the Destiny Gate. He picked up blue buff for himself, has flash as well to reach the back line. But Young J Kim has to back to deal with this minion wave on the bot side. Minion wave in the top side as well. It's going to be pushing in. Needs to be answered here. So Harvard don't get too much out of their Baron buff, and they're still 7,000 gold down.
Tricky situation for Harvard. They've still got it for about 20 to 30 seconds. Not quite enough to take anything. Destiny Gate to look for anyone caught out of position, but Yellow, whoa! Did he just... I think he used it on himself. He Destiny Gated 1 unit forward.
Yeah, that was a lot of abilities there used from Harvard University in one spot. So I'm assuming that maybe he tried to throw it there. And then,
well, you can't cancel it, can you?
Yeah, I don't play enough Twisted Fate to know.
Okay. Well, thank you for not pretending to be freak and saying.
Yeah. So did you know that I don't know?
I do now know that you don't know.
But I assume that he used it on top of himself. I haven't seen a Twisted Fate cancel it before. I assume there's a lot of Twisted Fates that if you could cancel it, would have canceled it. So it turns out that you can cancel it, which I think that's not the case. I think that you have to like take it as soon as it starts casting. That I'd be more angry that people did not cancel those Twisted Fate ultis.
Unless you've got like a Bard on your team who can break it out. Meanwhile, in this game, Eddie Spaghetti looks for some action. He dives in. This is a team fight. This is exactly what Harvard wants. The AoE is layered out. Yellow's solo. He's still alive. Finally goes down to Young Jae Kim. Crownme's caught out on the far side, auto-attacking a minion to try to stay alive, but it's not enough. 5v3 in Boston University get too bloodthirsty for their own good.
Despite being down 7,000 gold, Harvard University against adversity, they get the Baron. They don't even have Baron for this fight, and they get 2 kills in an ideal scenario. They wanted the 5v5, the gravity field came down, and Young Jae Kim just throwing out all the damage on top of that team.
Huge play from Harvard University taking that fight. BBQQ gets away from the inhibitor turret in time. It is secured, and the inhibitor still standing though. Situation, and looks like they are going to try to push forward further and further. Madlife ends up going down. They're turning now. Growlin is caught. The inhibitor is being taken, and Harvard University with a late scaling team comp are making a comeback.
3,000 gold difference between these two teams. I'm just so shocked that now I can actually do math.
When it's within this range. It's actually a 2,200 gold lead, friend.
300? 400? I'm not your friend, buddy. Anyway. Top lane wave is getting shoved in. Sorry, you were drinking.
Oh, boy. Not your buddy guy.
But Eddie Spaghetti, he needs a friend.
Yeah, he's trying to go in once again. The CC is so much. BBQQ goes low. Cleanse is not enough. Eddie Spaghetti eats all of the burst of Victor and Rise and ends up dropping.
Oh, man, Spaghetti fell out of his pockets on that one. It was a quite awkward situation. BBQQ walks up with pretty much 1/9 HP, 1/8, just very, very low, and decides, I can still fight this. But they trade 1 for 1. Still beneficial for Harvard due to the shutdowns, and also the fact that Eddie Spaghetti has just been so far ahead in this game. Pretty much stopping his flow of cash is better than stopping the flow of cash on the rec side.
At Boston University, they've still got 3 dragons to the 0 of Harvard. You can see everyone grouped up around the pit. They catch it as it respawns. Harvard is on their way. Complete and total vision, though, will spot it out. Destiny and Gate is available, so might be able to see a fight. There's the Destiny Gate to zone it out. Yellow looks like he's found Jinx split away from the rest of her team. Spookies finds Jason Shen. He chunks him low, but Yellow doesn't want any part of this. He's going to be the one who gets caught out. Cocoon over the wall. They need to decide Baron or Yellow. Dragon or Yellow. They don't get South Korea. Dragon gets chunked down to 400. It is secured. That's number 4 for Boston, but they've lost Yellow in the mid lane.
Yeah, South Korea extraordinarily low, though, and no Yellow. He's one of the Fed members of this team. If you look at where these kills are concentrated, right? Let's just look at Aurelius, 735. Mid lane Yellow, 635, but then everybody else, 0-1-1 for Caitlyn, 0-2-1 for Growlin, 0-1-3 for Madlife Smurf. These guys have 3 kill participation highest, and then the other 2 have 1 out of these 13. This team on Boston University is literally all Eddie Spaghetti and Yellow right now. These assists are so low for these other members. It's pretty much just been a 2-man team.
And we'll see if these 2 members can pull it together. So far, their presence has been enough to allow Madlife Smurf to play around that 5th Dragon win condition. Now, Baron just spawning, 31 minutes and 40 seconds. Harvard University pull the trigger. Yellow does have teleport, but Baron's already at half. He's going to be up in 2 seconds. South Korea zoning. Madlife Smurf is looking for it. He's zoned away by the gravity field. Can he make it over? No, he can't. It's actually secured by Young Jae Kim, and Harvard University get their 2nd Baron of the game. They are making a comeback, and they're making it look good.
And it makes you question the play from earlier where Boston University, despite having split push advantage with the Lichbane Twisted Fate and having an Aurelia who could also split push, even a 1-3-1 or a 4-1 split push, even if it's Aurelia or Twisted Fate, it wouldn't have mattered. But you have an advantage there, and Boston University threw it away with a 5-man team fight against Harvard.
Now that's another tier 2 taken with Super Minions pushing down in the mid lane, and now soon to be Baroned up minions pressuring in another. Turrets are falling across the map, and Harvard University, they're only 1 turret behind right now. There's the Destiny Gate to secure blue buff for Yellow. This is a dangerous scenario for Boston University, and Harvard, they are playing so very strong in this match.
Yeah, Harvard coming back after pretty much having the win condition played to. And it was pretty much Boston University that played into the hands of Harvard on that one. They had every advantage that they needed on BU's side. 7,000 gold up, split pushers that couldn't be dealt with by one member, sometimes even 2 members. So I think this is a game that Boston are pretty much going to lose at this point, because Harvard University, they have Baron buffed up minions, they have a 5v5 comp, and no more split pushing is happening for Boston University. So now, dealing with these minions is pretty much the only job this team has.
Yeah, Cocoon gets fired out by Mad Life Smurf, doesn't find anyone as the Baron siege continues. This wave is going to be cleared out so quickly. There are the Caitlyn traps to try to buy some time, but I expect this time around Harvard University is going to have no problem stepping on them as they siege onto the tier 2, chunking it down to half, now down to a quarter.
Jason can actually shoot them right out of range. See, off on the side, no Caitlyn trap in that position. You have to move this lineup. It's like 50 units too short.
Yeah, he's getting shielded over and over by the Lulu, sieging just as much as that cannon minion, down to about 200 health on the turret. They're going to get it with this next wave. Jason should just be able to give it one quick glove tap to push it over. There he goes.
It's getting shielded by the Janna.
Yeah.
So there we go. Finally goes down. And now Harvard have a lead in this game for the first time since about 7 minutes in, where they lost it to Yellow with a great gank.
Yeah, that mid inhibitor did just respawn, though. Harvard immediately respawn. They're now heading to try taking it out. They want to see Boston University grouped up. They don't want to split. This is a 5v5 comp. They can find the AoE. They could just end the game. Baron buff still going to be up for about another 20 seconds.
Yeah, and see how they play this afterwards on Harvard's side. Without the Baron buff to shove up this next minion wave, they may still continue to push out on the bottom side. But I think at this point, you secure potions, you secure items for yourself. Because Dragon, 5th Dragon could be Boston's win condition here, and that's how they're able to get back into this. It's not really the split push, but Harvard, are they all going to cancel their backs? Okay, no, they're just going to...
So they were setting up a death bush, but the Destiny was used by Yellow to spot it out, and they just kind of sheepishly, you know, you caught us, so okay.
I was wondering if they would all back during the vision, and then cancel it when the vision was over.
Oh.
So they're all sitting there.
Well, I believe they still had Baron buffs. So.
Yeah, they were also still on top of a ward, though. So
didn't want to take any chances. Gromp secured by Mad Life Smurf. 10-13. Boston University still lead in kills, and in fact, they're ahead in gold now by 400.
Yep.
300.
And picking up these kills and these super minions that just keep pushing into their base in the mid lane. Dragon, though, you have to get this first Dragon if you're Harvard University, but if you're Boston University, you have to get this 5th Dragon. Who says Dragon isn't worth anything anymore?
Yeah, I know. This is a scary scenario. Boston University with minions shoving into their base. Top is split pushing, or top wave is pushing into them. Victor's already on the bottom. Harvard are already prepared to collapse on the pit. Destiny's not available for 40 seconds or so.
Yeah, have to TP in, and they don't really have too much vision here on the side of Boston University. Very tense situation, because this next play could be the entire game. Crownme's caught out.
Oh, flash knockup finds Crownme. He's still got a flash of his own. Heal keeps him standing, and Janna makes it over the wall. In addition, a potential pick denied by Boston.
Yep. Multiple summoner spells used there. The flash from Barbecue, flash from Foho Bear, but then the flash from Growlin and the heal from Crownme. So this next fight, you are going to have that flash on the Janna to try and reposition for a good monsoon. South Korea, you can see 2 levels up there on that Lulu. He's been kind of keeping up there despite being on the losing side of this game for the majority of the time.
Yeah, there goes the Destiny Gate to spawn it out. Dragon going to spawn any second now. There he is landing in the pit. It's do or die time for Boston University, but this is exactly what Harvard wants.
Watch out for the stacks on Foho Bear. If he keeps those 4 stacks up and keeps that supercharge ready, he's going to be able to blow up pretty much anybody. Let's see what happens here.
Just the one right now, building to the second stack. There goes the Caitlyn wall to deny any sort of further engage. They're trying to clear the vision. Laser chunks him out, and Crownme is brought down a quarter of his HP by the laser of Young Jae Kim.
So the problem here for Boston is that the super minions are just going to push into their base no matter what. So they're on a timer. They have to walk back to that wave in the middle and clear that out every now and then. And when that happens, That's an opportunity, but Mad Life Smurf.
Flash Cocoon finds Young J Kim. Can they get him before he drops his combo? He does indeed. Late teleport, and this could be Boston. There's no Victor to turn it around. He dives onto Jason Shen. Foho Bear looks for yellow. He gets dropped as well. That's 2 members of Harvard dead. They made the wrong call. They're trying to split, and it's going to punish them as they chase down the remaining members. Mad Life is going to turn back to secure this Dragon number 5 for Boston University.
And Boston University, if they pick this up, there still is Barbecue Q. If he can make it into this pit and steal it, that would be insane, but they're just going to dive on him.
Oh, wait! Kill him over the time. He doesn't make it over the wall in time. Dragon 5 is secured by Boston University. It's 2 versus 5 right now. Destiny has just come back up. Yellow card finds Jason Shen. He goes down along with the hopes of Harvard University.
No, at Harvard University, they played it very, very, very long game, 38 minutes here, but that looks like Boston University with the 5th Dragon buff are going to be able to push in on this base. And Foho Bear made the wrong call. He went to that bottom lane to make sure that they're able to push that wave up. And oh, did they pay for it? But wait a second. They don't have a minion wave here because everything's been shoved away from them.
They can't end.
No, they can't.
The game is still going on. Harvard is still in this match. They've got a momentary reprieve after what could have been a game-ending mistake. Harvard University, I'm sure they're chastising each other in chat, but they're still in this.
No, I think that you keep each other's spirits up. 5th Dragon going towards the Baron. This could be Baron for Boston. It could be another nail in the coffin, but I mean, Harvard have been extremely resilient in this game. That bot lane wave, though. Foho Bear went to the bottom tier 2 turret area to try and shove it out, but 5th Dragon was on the table, and Boston saw that opportunity and engaged, and now they see another opportunity to take down this Baron with pretty much no answer.
Yeah, it's secured very quickly by Boston University. That's Empowered Recall, Dragon 5, and Baron for Boston. They've still got that middle inhibitor down, but securing the bottom one, they're going to have some pressure building on that side of the map. And Harvard have never been in a more dire position than they are right now.
Baron buffed up minions. Mid lane wave. Bottom inhibitor is down for Harvard, and they don't have that middle one to answer. So now, do they continue with the split push and go back to the strategy that was working for Boston? Or do they try to force this down? I think that it looks like a top lane wave shove and also getting jungle control on that left side jungle, and then go between mid and go between top, because you have that bottom turret already down.
Dangerous position as the first of the Baroned up minions crash into the turret. 4 members sieging, soon to be 5 as Crownme's on his way.
Also, you have to watch out for that bottom wave. It has multiple super minions in it. Foho Bear has to go clear it. Make sure that that doesn't get any further along, but they chunk this turret. Oh, the extra turret damage that they get from this 5th Dragon and Yellow's Lichbane, as well as being 6 items. Just making these structures paper.
Yeah. Dragon 5 is still going to be up for about 30 seconds, going on 20 now as it slowly winds down. But there's still a Baron buff that Harvard have to worry about. However, Baron does not improve combat stats. They could look for a 5v5 and try to turn it around.
It doesn't improve the defensive stats.
Yes.
It does improve a little bit of your AD and AP, but it doesn't make you any more resilient to poke and harass. We'll see what happens here, though. Could be the final push, but I've said that multiple times now.
Yes.
5th Dragon gone. Baron's still on for about a minute now.
Sieging down, the inhibitor turret goes down. Barbecue Q lands the knock-up. They're trying to wombo it around, but they're not able to get onto the valuable members of Boston University. Foho Bear gets dropped. They trade Mad Life Smurf for it. So far, it's a 1-for-1, but Eddie Spaghetti's not done. He picks it over with another 1-for-1. Yellow goes down, but so does Jason Shen. Crownme's deep in back line. He's going to end up dropping South Korea. It's 3 versus 1 right now. Young Jae Kim, the last member alive, watches as his last inhibitor falls, tries to clear the wave in time, but Victor doesn't have enough damage. Eddie Spaghetti dives in. He wants the final style kill for the ace of Boston University, and this victory in game number 1 against Harvard.
And Boston University, they're keeping that old tradition alive of beating Harvard at League of Legends right now, going up game 1 in this match. It's only a best of 2, So now Harvard, they can only get to 2 points, and they can't even pass Boston University in the standings, no matter what they do in this next game.
Yeah, quite unfortunate for Harvard, but we saw some exceptional play from them. They were patient, they were intelligent, setting up death bushes, setting up baits at Dragon, finding the fights that they needed to time and time again, but just not quite able to close it out.
Yeah, Harvard got to a point where that 5th dragon, that crucial 5th dragon, was something that definitely put them in a huge deficit. I think that they played the setup for it incorrectly. Because the Caitlyn's sieging and has those 5 traps, you really don't want to fight them. But at the same time, I think that that's where you pull the dragon and you make them engage you in a 5-on-5. You don't really have to have the Ryze run to a different area. But this is that fight. Once again, look at the minimap. Look at where Ryze is. Ryze is off on the side, and Foho Bear goes, oh, wait, I have to TP in here. But one of their damage dealers is already off the field. And so Foho Bear then finds himself in a situation where he can't recover from, and then that's 5th Dragon going over to Boston University. Pretty much no problem there.
Yeah, and to be fair though, Mad Life Smurf landing that cocoon on that valuable Victor target, so vital. He had a great performance throughout the game, ganking lane after lane all across the map, and then being able to land that cocoon later on.
Yeah, he didn't have too much kill participation though.
Yeah.
When you're looking at his scoreline, in the mid game, he pretty much had 3 assists, and the rest of the team, the Aurelia, Eddie Spaghetti, as well as Yellow, were pretty much the team, and that was it. Which actually gave Harvard a really good chance of winning. But Harvard, they had a great fight in the mid game. You see here, 6,000 gold down. Eddie Spaghetti goes too far forward, and his team is not there just yet. So 3-man Chaos Storm, as well as Gravity Field there for Young J Kim. And that's where the turnaround happens, is that crucial fight. They get so much off of this too, and just keep barreling down the mid lane. And that's how Harvard made it just a much more even game throughout that late game.
Yeah, such a tricky situation for Boston when that happened. And, you know, you did mention it was between basically Eddie Spaghetti and Yellow primarily playing for Boston throughout that mid-game. And the moment they were gone, it just seemed like Boston fell apart.
Yeah, well, because if you go pound for pound and look across the rift, it's like Jinx at that point in the game is better than the Caitlyn when you're in that team fight scenario. And Jinx actually had more kill participation than the Caitlyn did. So you're looking at Jason Shen going, well, yeah, it looks like he actually was doing a lot of work that game. In terms of damage, you would see that be reflected in the charts too, is that Harvard was still doing a lot of damage despite the fact that the 2 damage dealers on the other side, on Boston University, were very fed. So I think the damage would actually be rather comparable if we took a look at it.
Well, very close match between Harvard and Boston University. We're going to be right back with game number 2 and some more exciting collegiate League of Legends action. Don't go anywhere, guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the uLoL Campus Series. Once again, I'm Seda, this is Irene. We just saw a very exciting match between Boston University and Harvard, in which Boston was victorious in the long run. Now, that's not to say that it wasn't close, though.
Yeah, it became very close off of Boston playing into the win condition of Harvard. Harvard wanted a 5v5, and Boston pretty much should have used that 6,000, 7,000 gold lead to secure themselves more turrets, split push with the Aurelia, or use Yellow in the mid lane on the Twisted Fate. So I think Eddie Spaghetti and Yellow are people that we have to have our eyes on this game, not just because they're shot caller and best player, and they also have good synergy and pretty much seem to be the team. They also have to make really good decisions to close the game out, because if you mess up, you get so punished for it. Harvard did have a really good Baron call. I think the Baron call is what set them up to actually have that fight in the mid lane that allowed them to win the game from there, or allowed them to come back into the game and almost win it, because it was back and forth. That 5th Dragon and Foho Bear out of position is really what cost them the game at that point. It was neck and neck.
The fact that it came down to that one mistake, this team was so far ahead, and then Harvard came and caught right back up, but then it was just a little bit too much.
Yeah,
it is difficult and quite unfortunate, but Harvard, they're playing well. They're playing to the level of Boston University, and this is what they need to do just a little bit more successfully if they want to take the win in game number 2.
Yeah, but the thing here is now Harvard can no longer actually come out on top of Boston. Boston is now 3-4, and their points are right now at least 4 points, because they have a 2-0 and now at least a 1-1. So they can either jump out to 6 points, or they can jump and pretty much just have a little bit of a lead and go to 4. Whereas if you look at Harvard, they're at 1 point, and they can only get to 2 points.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens in this next game, Boston is at least 2 points up.
Yeah, not quite too fantastic for Harvard. They're not going to pass Boston just yet. They've still got a few more weeks to succeed. But of course, if you want to watch the VOD for that last game or find out more about uLoL and the campus series, head over to ulol.leagueoflegends.com. You can use our Find a Club tool to find a local collegiate organization near you that you can participate in.
Yeah, and I think that if you do go to college, you should actually look around, see if you have any type of esports association at your school, and try to join up and play some video games with some friends. I think it's a great time.
Yeah, super good time for it. But we're getting ready to get into our next game between Harvard and Boston University, and I'm really looking forward to see what the pick and ban for this is going to be, because we saw the 5v5 team comp out of Harvard University, and it didn't do well during laning phase as expected, but then they were able to actually win team fights. Do they go back to that same strategy?
I'm not quite sure about that. I think that both teams were comfortable with their compositions and that they really kind of want to keep things relatively the same. I think that Boston showed that Eddie Spaghetti and Yellow are great split pushers, and that Harvard University, despite not winning the game, they had a good 5v5, and that looked like something that Boston was uncomfortable facing. So I think that both teams will draft relatively similar. If anything, Boston decided to go for a 5v5 comp and then just try to bash heads and say, we're mechanically better than you, let's just get an early lead and let's play the same type of comp as you. So I could see that change up. So yeah.
Well, so far we are seeing similar bans. Graves, Yi, and Jace. Twisted Fate taken away from Yellow. Young J. Kim had a bit of trouble with that, and he was all over the map. Ganking top, diving bottom, picking off in the jungle. Great play from him.
Yeah, he was really the catalyst for the entire game getting out of control. When he was able to use his ultimate to go to the top, when he was able to get some assistance in the mid lane, that became a big problem for Harvard, and Harvard wasn't able to bounce back until much later in the game off of mistakes and off of a great Baron call. But the Twisted Fate definitely got that gigantic snowball rolling, and then they had that 7,000 gold lead on Boston's side. So I like the ban there. I don't remember exactly what it's replacing in terms of the bans, so they still have that last one to go, and then leaving something up this game.
Yeah, there's the Kalista.
Didn't want to play against last time.
Tom Kench, it was. Banned away from Boston in game number 1. Now is available, but it looks like Mad Life Smurf wants to return back to that Elise. Very influential in those ganks, but speaking of ganks, Gangplank.
Gangplank
is still available. Shen and Jax being looked at right now. He's just going to go ahead and scroll through.
Yeah, if you go Jax, the Aurelia can be played into that, and it's a back and forth matchup depending on who uses E first. I think that Jax, of course, has been seeing a little bit of love in terms of buffs. Rageblade is great on him. Getting going for Gunblade is also a crazy build. So we'll see what ends up happening here, if it is that. Poppy was left unpicked or banned last game, and is a pretty big power pick right now.
So Poppy interrupts dashes, right? Does Poppy interrupt Blitzcrank pulls? Because technically it's a dash.
No, because that's not one of the enemies dashing.
Okay, so it has to be an active ability.
It has to be an enemy.
Well, sure. But if
Yeah.
if you have Blitzcrank and Poppy on your team and Blitzcrank pulls into a Poppy zone, does the enemy get bonked out at the edge?
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe
know.
we'll find out. Lulu being looked at right now could go to South Korea once again.
It's true. I think it would be going to South Korea. I think it's going to go to that southern lane and hang out there. Protect Jason Shen. I do like the Poppy pickup. Could be a top lane. Could be even a support Poppy as well as a jungle Poppy. So 2 flex picks here picked right off the bat. I like that because then you make it so that there's an extra element to your champion select where it's not as readable and it can become, well, they pick something that Poppy's really good against, like a Fiora top, then let's throw that into the top lane. Or the Lulu can go up into a good matchup for her.
Currently, Boston University looking to answer. The Yordle team comp being hovered. Elise, not too happy about that. So looking at the Trundle right now, we'll see what they decide to end up going with. Of course, the big highlights for me to look at are, as you mentioned, Eddie Spaghetti and Yellow. So influential in game number 1. What did they take now in game number 2? Lucian and Trundle looks like strong picks right now, but we don't know where the Trundle's going yet.
Exactly. We have no idea where the Trundle's going. That could be a Lucian top like we saw in the EULCS. But we don't have any real read on what Yellow's going to play or Eddie Spaghetti at this point. So we're at least going to figure out on Harvard University's side a little bit more of their comp. You still may not know what's going top, what's going mid just yet, unless there's like a Victor and it's a dead giveaway. But otherwise, the Boston might have to pick a lot of their solo laners here pretty much blind.
Yeah, tricky situation for Boston University. Morgana now being looked at along with Ezreal for Harvard to answer. No, it can't be double 80 carry. Graves was taken away. He did hover Corki in game number 1.
There's so many things here.
mind games.
Like, this literally gives away nothing. It could be Morgana support, top, mid. That would give away something, because that would only be played in support. Ezreal could be mid. Ezreal could be 80 carry.
Have you ever seen Trinity Force Bard?
No, I haven't. Which I'm happy about.
Hurts a lot, remarkably, because the Meeps proc Thunderlords.
But you had to use a spell beforehand. So like, if you throw out E, you throw out W,
So
you
you Q
take a
auto.
health pack, and it.
Oh yeah, because then if you Q auto, then you also proc the Sheen on the auto. In addition to the Meeps, it's just not fun.
Yeah. The Q has a pretty decent range on it for catching, but you usually want to auto attack first because your auto attack will apply the slow, and it makes it easier to get your Q off afterwards as Bard.
But likely we're going to be seeing that Cosmic Bindings coming out of South Korea in the bottom lane. Jokes aside, Ezreal picked up for Jason Shen. We keep on seeing this duo hovered. At this point, I'm intrigued.
It's so annoying. If it is actually a composition, it's incredibly frustrating to play against. There's just so many things that like a minefield as well as a bunch of turrets there, but I
Going
don't
through.
think that's what they're going to go for.
Tower defense for Boston University as they looked at the Yordles, but now once again switching away. Renekton being looked at for Eddie Spaghetti fits the bully mentality that he took in game number 1. And that is, in fact, a Heimerdinger locked in.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right. So
I like it.
Heimerdinger, I will, if you ever call any of the abilities, I expect you to say the full name alongside the numbers in the name.
Oh my gosh. Ow.
Yeah.
I can't even.
You're done.
I'm
You're
done. I'm done.
And when they're
so.
upgraded, their
I'm
name
done
changes.
So. My dongers are raised. I can't keep up.
Raise your dongers, everybody, because, oh man, Renekton in the top lane. This composition is all about crushing the lane phase, at least for ganking. Very, very early aggressive jungler here. You're going to have a Trundle, which looks like it's going to make its way to the support role here. Or, yeah, it's going to be a support Trundle, so that it's all about basically trading, making sure that you come out on top, especially against melee supports, but it's a Bard, so it's going to be a little bit easier here for Harvard University to get through that phase, and it's Renekton, who wants to really bully that lane. So what I'm looking at in that top lane is if Eddie Spaghetti can basically shut down Foho Bear immediately, because Renekton needs to stay ahead of this Rise at all points in the game to even stay relevant, or else he's just going to get 100-0, pretty much no problem.
Yeah, tricky situation for Eddie Spaghetti. We saw in game number 1, he was flirting with danger a little bit, trying to bully Foho Bear away, and that is going to be Heimerdinger against Lulu. Young J Kim taking that Lulu in the mid lane.
Yeah, Lulu in the mid lane up against that Heimerdinger, so little bit of a matchup that's a lot of poke, a lot of shoving from the Heimerdinger. But I'm interested to see how it turns out, because ganking a Heimerdinger, you think it's a good idea because he's low mobility, but it always ends up being a bad idea.
It's never a good idea.
It's a bad idea. It's a terrible idea.
The turrets do so much damage.
And then if he ever gets Zonia's, he just places down the ultimate turret and
I know, it's so
it hurts
brutal.
so bad. I hate it so much. I know.
It's going to be fun, but we want to know who you think is going to take the win. Will Boston University be able to 2-0 this one, or will Harvard come back and win a game of their own? Tweet at uLoL with hashtag Harvard win or hashtag Donger win. Wait, that's not what it says. It says BU. I'm excited for the Heimerdinger. We're going to be getting into game in just a second, but I mean, Boston University, they're playing well. They've got a replacement jungler who they have not, in fact, played in the uLoL with yet.
Yeah, Mad Life Smurf, they made sure that he had a champion that he's comfortable with right off the bat as their first pick. And Boston University, they want to get those extra points and go out to 6 points and be 4-4 and have that even score so that as they get to the other half of their schedule, they can take some losses and stay in that top 4, but also that they can make sure that they actually get out to a point where we're on the Rift and we're awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
We've spawned onto the
They
Rift.
can get to a point where they're still in contention for the conference. Man, I thought I loaded in there for a second.
I know.
Like,
I was trying to spam my mastery, but I just raised my eyebrows.
Yeah, apparently you haven't mastered yourself just yet.
What can I say?
Play more games. Play more games.
I'm only level 24. It's a work in progress.
But I honestly, like, a lot of people are like, why isn't there a champion that has Irene's dance? And like, it could have been right there. Could have been there.
That was your opportunity. Whoa! 5 members of Harvard University are grouped up. Pretty scary with the Bard Lulu Rise combo, but looks like defensive line out of Boston University. They're not caught out as the Yordles dance around in the mid lane.
I'm actually quite interested in what's going to happen in that top lane. Eddie Spaghetti, I mean, we kept saying his name early game over and over again.
So fun.
But he's so relevant. His boots. He's got boots now. He's starting boots, potions in that top lane. So he's looking for pretty much aggressive posturing all throughout the laning phase, and especially this early game. I'm expecting him to walk forward and pretty much just Q every time he can and try to outrun Foho Bear and get those trades off. So if he can harass him down to about, I want to say 60%, if he can get a combo off, then Foho Bear's dead.
Young J Kim. Oh, first damage. Gets trunked out by Yellow in the mid lane as the turret is going to start pushing the wave. There's Eddie.
Already taking the Q. Interested in what Foho Bear started.
Junglers are going to be on the bottom side of the map once again, so laner's just a bit slow to lane. And yeah, he looks like he's starting with the Flux once again.
Yeah, looking for that shred on the magic resistance. Also just the extra damage on the minions so that he can get level 2 at a reasonable time. But it doesn't really allow him to stack up his passive and get a shield.
All right, Crown Me taking just a bit of tagging from that not Trinity Force Bard as he's going to be traded back with Growlin. Just posturing.
It's never going to be a Trinity Force Bard.
You have not seen the horror that is Trinity Force Bard.
I think I've seen a Bard that just built like full AP.
Mm-hmm.
I think I built a full attack speed at one point. All for one was fine.
You just keep on chunking meeps over and over.
I think we were against a bunch of tanks. And I was like, somebody has to go AP, and somebody has to go AD, and I was like, I know what I'm going. I can do it. Attack speed.
Oh my gosh, all for one bards where you just keep stacking the tempered fates. We're free, we're not, we're free, we're not, we're free.
Well, the magical journey was the best part. You just make an Illuminati magical journey. Like, whoa!
Just do a chain all throughout the jungle. Are they going from top to bottom in 3 seconds? I think they are.
Rotations.
All right, Mad Life Smurf once again looking for his patented top lane level 3 gank.
Yeah, this is where you go. This is the shot caller calling for a gank to the top lane here. So Eddie Spaghetti being very vocal about how he wants to affect this lane, especially since this is a matchup that the Rise can really handle easily. So Foho Bear having a better time here and shoving Renekton out rather early. But of course, out of mana on Foho Bear. He's dipped into that pool rather deep. So he's not really going to have kill potential here. Even in a 2v2 situation, I would give that over to the side of Boston University.
Oh man, Yellow is not afraid to trade. He's doing so much damage. A quick level up saves him. Flash Ignite. Yellow's so low. He might die here, but no, the healing potion is going to keep him alive as the laser is dodged. This is a Yordle deathmatch.
Oh my god, it's just a minefield all over the place. You have to dodge glitter lances. You have to dodge all of these turrets. Double buffs here on both junglers if the cocoon lands.
Oh, it does land indeed. Fohobear takes some damage. Eddie's going to back out of this one. Mad Life Smurf junked down to half health. Repel. He goes down onto the minion and flashes to safety.
Oh man, the flash from Mad Life Smurf burned there for nothing out of this top laner and this jungler Barbecue Q. Oh,
Solid play.
yeah, it was a solid play, but I still think that the backing and getting the tier here from Fohobear is going to allow him to charge that up really early. It's going to allow him to TP back to this lane and see if he can actually do something.
Oh, he's TPing right onto Eddie, maybe trying to get him to burn a flash as he builds up some charges. Eddie goes in and dashes out. Foho looks for the flash. The snare lands. First blood, Fohobear.
Fohobear turning the matchup around. Of course, Renekton, it's so hard. He needs to stay ahead at all stages, and Harvard sniffed that out, put a gank up to the top lane, and then the TP back, he already had stacks on him. I was watching his tier when he was inside the base, and he was already stacking it up. So when he showed up, it only took 1 or 2 spells to get to the point where he's able to throw out another Rune Prison. And it took Eddie Spaghetti off guard.
More harass in the mid lane. Yellow with the quick recall and teleport opens up with a Negatron cloak, trying to bully Youngjae away from this wave and deny some CS. This could be an opportunity to take an advantage. But Barbecue Q's already waiting in the wings to catch him. South Korea gets zoned away from the magical journey. No ride for you.
He keeps trying to put the magical journey on the pillar to go through it, but he keeps putting it on the wall instead. So it's just snapping to the wall when he doesn't want it to. And it's happened about 2-3 times now.
I didn't know there was that interaction. What a great way to play around Trundle. Oh, you're going to put down a pillar? Well, I'll just go through it. I believe you're still slowed as long as you're in the zone, though. Wouldn't it be great if your magical journey speed was affected by move speed? So it was just a slow ride through the pillar?
It's pretty much affected by if you're on the Bard's team or not.
Yeah.
You go through faster if you're on the team. If you're against them, you go pretty much normal speed.
Lots of magic resist picked up for Boston University. Don't want to take any chances. Eddie doesn't want to give over another kill to that rise. He didn't even burn his teleport either.
Eddie can't do anything in this matchup right now. It's such a difficult matchup for Renekton. And the current state of Renekton, he's not very flexible when he gets behind. So Fohobear can pretty much, I think Fohobear might kill him.
Oh, he just got level 6. He's got a full charge stacked up. He needs to start tossing out some spells. There he goes, Fohobear, another kill.
So this is one of those moments where you go, guys, I know I was fed last game, and I thought this guy, I thought I could take him. I picked up pretty much the Renekton out of maybe disrespect, or maybe thinking I could just take his matchup.
Whoa, so much damage. The laser's not enough. Youngjae Kim gets out alive, but only barely. He's back in lane. Oh, Yellow. He's looking for it.
He's looking for that level 6. If he gets level 6, he's fine because he has the wild growth. He's just playing it a little bit safe here. Barbecue Q's here. Maybe to help him clear the wave. Maybe to just get rid of some of these turrets. I don't know. Walk up, smite one, get some cash monies. Nope. Go to Raptors, farm. Good jungler.
More important, I have to make sure he doesn't see me when I gank the lane. It's more important than actually ganking the lane.
Yep. Sometimes just having the pressure.
And
He put the ward down, though.
He's trying to regenerate now, running awfully low on mana as Yellow continues to put pressure onto the turret. Barbecue Q spotted out by the ward, dropped by Mad Life. Level advantage is in favor of Harvard University, though, for Barbecue Q and Fohobear.
And they're actually lane swapping here on Boston University's side. They sent the Lucian top, so Crown Me and Growlin both going to the top side. If they see this on the side of Harvard, I wonder if they'll actually switch it up and put Fohobear in the bot lane. It looks like that's where he's heading now. Yeah, so they're putting Fohobear in a different lane. You want to be able to bully this Renekton, right? You want to be able to win that matchup. Oh, Mad Life Smurf!
Oh no, Mad Life Smurf is caught. He doesn't have Flash, does have Repel, but it's not going to save him from Ignite. He goes down to South Korea.
I'm very surprised that you didn't actually see a Snapcast ultimate from Barbecue Q at all, because maybe they would have been able to get enough pressure onto that Heimerdinger if he did, but still, just going to walk away with a kill there. And Harvard University, they said that their laning phase was one of their weaker points. Well, going up to a 3-0 start and 1,200 gold, pretty much the opposite of what happened last game.
Yeah, and they're up against lane bullies. Renekton, Heimerdinger, Lucian, and they're coming out ahead with 3 kills, 1,000 gold in favor of Harvard University.
Yeah.
Youngjae Kim is going to secure blue buff here.
Yeah, against Ryze, Renekton isn't really a lane bully. Renekton just kind of does nothing. He flops around in the top lane. I'm very serious. Like, if you want to go play this matchup after we're done with this,
I'm okay. You're much better Yellow than I am.
Oh, I mean, I'll be the Renekton.
Oh, good. Oh, okay, yeah, let's do it.
You'll see what happens. It's a horrible matchup. You feel absolutely helpless unless you get 3 ganks that all succeed early, and even then, if you misstep once, you're gonna lose. So it's an absolutely horrible matchup for the Renekton.
Yeah, you can see Eddie Spaghetti roamed towards the mid lane, walked towards the Direwolf camp, and then teleported back to the bottom lane to catch the turret. Yeah. Can't quite make up his mind as to how he's going to be able to get out of this, as Harvard University are putting forward pressure across the map. South Korea looking for some action in the mid lane.
Yellow's items.
Raptor Cloak.
Yes. I mean, it says it gives you extra movement speed around turrets, but not really.
So it's, could that be, I think, Banner of Command? Banner of Command applies to Elise's Spiderlings. Does it also apply to Heimerdinger's turrets?
Oh, in terms of like the...
They do more damage.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's friendly units. It might be. Oh. We've lost Irene. Well, I'm going to try turning him off and on again.
Yeah. That's still on the new Banner of Command?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what you used to do as Elise. When you would, when you were feeling real trollsy, you would get Rylai's Banner of Command. And your Spiderlings would do bonus damage.
Okay. I knew it worked on Zyra back in the day as well.
Yeah.
Increased their
It was
their damage a
allied
little bit.
units.
Yeah.
So what do you think the Raptor Cloak is going to be?
Well, I think it's going to be a Zhizhi portal.
Gesundheit. But what do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be a Zhizhi portal. Oh! Not quite.
Not going to be able to steal it. Growlin secures it with a quick chomp down. That was a long-range True Shot Barrage from the turret as well.
Very, very close to sealing it. Got 86 HP. But even then, if he took it, somebody has to walk over and take that buff.
Yeah.
So eventually...
Oh, yeah. That's not the Baron. That's not how that works.
Just have to wait there and wait around for it to pretty much be left untouched. Oh, man. Eddie Spaghetti, 2 levels down, 1 level down now. But he's had to abandon his bottom lane. Free CS to Foho Bear, 30 CS advantage, and now they get to try and push this mid lane. Need their wave clear, though.
Very smart pick ban phase from Harvard to get the counter pick, knowing that Renekton could have been played. Mid lane's shove for Boston is unable to take the turret, though. But Foho Bear's working on one of his own in this bottom lane.
Yeah, he might be able to get this. Nobody's really answering it. Yellow would have to TP down, especially since Eddie Spaghetti's backing, and he's going to have to walk towards this bottom lane. Another wave will be cleared by Foho Bear, but again, it's Eddie Spaghetti in this matchup.
Did he just knock away a turret? You can do that?
Yeah, you knock away anything. Minions go flying, people go flying.
Ooh, Young J Kim takes a stun. Cocoon follows it up. 4 guys locked up, but still just fine for now.
Jason Shen not having that great of a time in this matchup. He's 30 CS down behind Crown Me, but he's playing a safer lane. Not down in experience. But Foho Bear hits his Rod of Ages and his tier at 12 minutes, whereas last game he was still sitting on a Catalyst at this point, so he's having a much better time. And Eddie Spaghetti, oh man, this is going to be such a slow game for this Renekton. Merc Tread's first item.
Yeah.
That's still not going to help. It's still not going to save you. But Yellow, oh!
Gets locked against the wall. The flash is not enough. Yellow takes a lot of damage. Young J Kim goes in. Ignite is on him. It's burning forward. Yellow gets out alive. Young J Kim goes down to the turret of Yellow. Mad Life Smurf turns onto Barbecue. A stun locks him into the turret. The Tempered Fate is only going to hit Elise. No, he didn't hit anyone. And Barbecue is still alive. He's popping it. He gets the kill. Here comes Foho Bear joining the fight. Oh, this is the matchup Foho Bear's been waiting for, but there's the rest of his team. Wait, guys, I wanted a 1v1. Crown Me doesn't have any stun over the wall. Are they going to be able to turn this around? This is crazy. Harvard University are still alive. Yellow has rejoined the fight onto Barbecue. And he's going to be stunned out. Finally goes down to Yellow.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, Jason Shen has been shoving this entire time, trying to get some turret damage, but that fight goes in the favor of Boston University, all of that collapsing, and there's the portal.
Yeah, that was a 3 for 3 when it was all said and done. There's the portal indeed, shoving into this turret. Wow, lots of damage shredding through. Young J Kim gonna try clearing it away in time, but these Voidlings are so strong.
Yeah, that fight could have gone in favor of Harvard if they were able to actually kill Yellow at the start of it. So Yellow barely got away, was able to back, and then he TP'd in. So A little overextension there from Young Jae Kim too, because he went down to turret shots. South Korea,
Takes a lot of damage here. Young South Korea might go low.
Oh, he stunned Elise against the Spiderlings. Oh, they betrayed him.
Oh no. The precious, precious Spiderlings not able to help him get the kill. Things not looking that solid.
Oh, so close. But, of course, Poppy showing up once again into that mid lane barbecue queue. Now trying to clear these things out, but look at this. He's put turrets by the portal to protect it, and he's just being annoying.
Yeah, this is so tricky to clear out. Barbecue Q takes just a bit of damage, even dropping the super turret to make sure that portal is
Leave it
still
alone.
standing.
Leave it alone.
And here's two. Here too is Growlin and Crown Me. I mean, or Growlin and Mad Life Smurf. They're doing everything they can to protect it. Oh, look at that cool little Voidling.
Yeah, you know, every now and then a bonus one comes up that does more. It's a super version.
Super Voidling.
I think it's like every 4 or so where it'll come out. Let's see, 2, 3.
Yeah, South Korea over the wall trying
There
to
it
clear
is,
it away.
boom.
He's got the magical journey, and oh, he gets popped out of it. South Korea's locked down. There's a wild growth to keep him standing. Is he going to be able to get through? He's running away the same place as last time. There's the Snapcast ultimate, and they're going to be able to escape and save the Suzeraut portal. There goes the Tempered Fate. South Korea's still alive. He denied the attack. Finally, he's going to go down, but they're turning now on to Barbecue. He's caught in a cocoon, gets brought low. 2 kills now for Boston University, evening it up. They're right in front of the Dragon.
What are you doing? Harvard University are just trying to kill the portal, but it's almost up again from cooldown on yellow. Like,
I know.
Why? Why?
Uh-oh, Jason Shen might not have an arcane shift here. He's able to make it over the fat part of the wall. Crown Me is providing chase, but he's got to be careful as the 5 members of Boston, they're going to take the Dragon. That portal was the MVP.
I mean, I love it because it's your first item is Heimerdinger.
Yeah.
So you want to protect it with everything you've got. And that's just base damages, right? He doesn't really have too much AP on top of that or anything. You're like enhancing the turrets. So everybody's just going to like try to walk up and kill the portal. It's
so
actually,
much damage.
So the thing is people usually purchase the portal later on. When you see a portal, it's like 4 items, 5 items, or people are like 6 item. I don't know what to build as a support. So this is crazy because what's happening is it's so early on in the game that you do way less damage than you expect. Look at each auto and how little it does to that portal. They finally get it, but it's like an escape mission. They're trying to go in there. South Korea, he actually walks back here, which is a mistake. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish without Jason there, but good interrupt there from Barbecue Q, but it doesn't matter because the auto attack still comes off, and then Jason Shed shows up to try and get some wrath, but
It was just they were so committed to taking out the portal, and then they were like, oh, can we turn this into a fight? Tempered Fate came down, caught 3 people. They didn't see Lucian from the side, and it just turned.
I'm kind of at a loss for words because it's a structure. I mean, you can still keep killing the little guys. It's not that frustrating right now or that oppressive. So
hilarious.
They're just very impatient. And also, like, you didn't even have, like, your ranged champion there. It was 5 members of Boston.
Yep.
So we might see a portal making the difference in this game because now we have a pretty much even score. Dragon does go over to Boston.
Yeah.
So the pause coming out there. We'll be back in the game in just a moment, guys.
So I guess, how do you defeat a team like Harvard, the intellectuals? Well, you tilt them.
Well, you make them overthink. We got to kill this.
Use their brains against them.
It's slowly chipping away at our turret. We don't like that. And it's up again. The portal's up again. So yellow's... I want to see what he does with this.
Got Fiendish Codex and Ionium Boots as well. Morello's now picked up for that Lulu. Rod of Ages and Needlessly Large Rod for Boho Bear. They're hitting some scary spikes. And again, Eddie Spaghetti down 25 CS, going down to 20 now.
They put it on the other side of the mid lane now, and they put a pink ward there so you can't ward around it. Oh, this is just this strategy. There's so
the strategy might be backfiring. Harvard have pivoted. Jason and Young J. Kim
avoid it.
are in the bottom lane.
Yeah, avoid it. Just put powerful members in a different lane, have them push. That's okay. I think. Oh man, I think that was totally a great idea. But this portal, I'm still cracking up. I still can't handle it. I can't handle it.
Go Voidling.
Is it gonna kill the turret?
Still standing for now. Another minion wave arrives. Pink on the far side is cleared, but Uh-oh, here come the rest of Harvard University. They dash forward. Eddie takes a Glitter Lance. Oh, Barbecue Q! Ooh, gets chunked low, but luckily he's nice and tanky.
Well, luckily Yellow doesn't have any AP besides the Codex.
Yeah.
I mean, spending a lot of money on the portal, it helped out in a different situation. Not that one, but that'll be a situation where he's able to chunk out the Poppy with his ultimate later on.
This is one of the kinds of games where whenever Bard landed the stun onto Eddie Spaghetti just now, in my head I was like, oh, he's out of mana, go in! Oh, wait. That's not how Renekton works.
Renekton! Yeah, I mean, it's always a great time to go in on Renekton. He's always out of mana.
Yeah, when he's got no mana. It's so vulnerable.
Get a Soraka in here, old school Soraka, give him some mana back.
Yeah, I know.
He's constantly out.
Wait, you've silenced him, no!
Ah.
Uh-oh, Crown V gets tagged. They're looking for a fight. Tempered Fate finds Mad Life. Is Barbecue going to be able to find the stun against the wall? He does not indeed. There goes the double knockup. And the turret actually goes down to the Voidlings. Barbecue tanking the front line. Growling goes low from the snare. He's still alive. Subjugate keeps him standing. Foho is finally going to go down to Mad Life Smurf. And Harvard University trying to back away. There's the triple bounce from Yellow. Here comes Barbecue once again. Doesn't land the stun. They're able to trade 1-for-1, but Crown Me coming up big in this fight. He's finally going to end up going down. Boston University able to rely on their 80 carry in a time of need.
And that looks like it's going to be a 2-for-3 when everything's all said and done. But there's a wild goose chase. Bard's probably going to make it out of this.
And meanwhile, Yellow was like, all right, I've dropped my turrets. I've fired my spells. I'm going to take a turret.
Yeah, I have to push up a little bit and find what to do with this next cooldown of my portal.
I must go. My people need me. And he rushes to the turrets.
He's just trying to return the turrets back to their home, back through the portal.
Yeah, teleport being used by Foho Bear to defend the mid-tier 2.
I can't believe this is happening.
Where's he going to put it next?
I don't know, but it just seems like, you know how we call a strategy cheese?
Yeah.
It's a cheese strat, but Harvard University just keeps stepping on the trap.
Yeah.
They're the mouse that's like, I know that's a trap, but I love cheese.
I got to keep going in.
Every time.
Cheese secured.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you say afterwards. Banner of Command now for Yellow.
I told you. You didn't chance it. It enhanced it. I'm so excited. This is awesome.
Oh, man. College was the best.
Hey, guys, you remember that time we beat Harvard with Banner of Command, ZZ Rot, Heimerdinger?
30 years from now, they're going to be telling that story to their children. Like,
legacy.
I was a crazy kid in college. I once beat Harvard with ZZ Rot Portal.
And the Banner of Command. Grandpa, that's so meta. That's nothing new.
Yeah, we didn't have patches in the triple digits back then.
Barbecue. He's caught out of position. Good stun buys him some time, but he's going down. There's a Snapcast. Tempered Fate misses, in fact. Mad Life provides chase. Barbecue finally drops. Foho tries to turn on to Growlin. He gets a lot of cross, and South Korea is the one who nets the kill. 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, have to watch out, though. Here comes the collapse. South Korea looking for the slow. Jason. Way too far forward.
Take the penguin slide.
That just reminds me of a Fight Club where the penguin shows up and goes, slide, slide. Oh, not that way.
Crown Me is like, don't crown me, don't crown me.
Oh, Jason.
Ooh, the fadeaway. Nope.
Oh, why would you do that?
No.
Now, you know what?
Maybe that's where his mini-map was.
No, in the top left corner.
They're pinging it right now. They're pinging it.
Yeah, so what he did is he aimed towards the bottom of his screen, so he clicked the top of his mini-map.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's probably what happened. So for the rest of this game, he's actually Justin Shen. Again, going back to it.
He's like, don't call me Jason.
Justin.
That's not actually my name.
Yeah, that's a Justin Shen ulti.
Yeah, not quite right. Striker Ezreal strikes out with that True Shot Barrage.
Yeah. For context on that, he was the MF that got the pentakill
in last week's
top 5. And apparently, Seda, you called him Justin.
I called him Justin.
And so when I actually talked to the team, they were like, I was like, how do you guys pronounce your names? And he's like, Jason, not Justin.
Jason.
Like, called me Justin.
The proper pronunciation for future reference.
Yeah. Jason. Oh, Justin. Oh, hey.
And it's South Korea?
Yeah, actually, his name has a funny story behind it. And you actually probably never believe it, but he's named South Korea.
I don't believe it.
He's named South Korea because he was born and raised in South Korea.
What? No way.
Yeah, I mean, it's an
Dong Jae Kim
unbelievable
is
story.
stunned.
Oh, that's unbelievable, too. But South Korea is coming up on the backside here, stunning the turret.
Ooh. There goes a magical journey. He's going to hunt that bard down. Growlin's going to try chasing from the far side as well. 4 members of Boston in the mid lane. There goes the Zuzu Rot portal. Shoving forward.
I just see Bard cues from the side of the screen everywhere. But Young JKM, that's a lot of their wave clear down right now. So Jason Shen, he's going to have to use that ultimate.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage has used. It's not enough. This time he does hit the minions. That's a Jason Shen move. Foho Bear going to take a full culling now. Gets knocked in and back to the side. Eddie Spaghetti in the front gets destroyed by Foho Bear. Growlin is going to suffer the same fate. Tempered Fate goes wide as Growlin goes over the wall. South Korea provides chase. Isn't able to catch up.
Just gigantic turret for Peel here. Onto the side of Boston University, they trade 1 for 0. And Harvard come out on top, despite being down 3,000 gold. Nice stun from Barbecue, and that allowed Foho Bear to just dish out all of his damage into the face of Eddie Spaghetti. Oh, they found the turret!
Oh no, they found it.
The portal!
We must close the portal.
Oblivion!
That's impressive.
Yes, it is.
Mid-tier 1 now looks to go down for Harvard University.
It looks to go down, but I mean, it's not looking too good.
Yeah, it's still going to stand for now. Here comes the rest of Boston University. Growlin drops a pillar of filth.
Oh, there's the TP.
And they could be looking for it. Polar Bear split. There goes a double spooky on the yellow.
Oh, don't have the inside path on anything.
And
Is that a
they
Baron call?
disengaged. They're rushing for it right now.
Uh-oh, when you have a Heimerdinger who is ready to throw out a turret and multiple turrets into this pit, then, yeah, you can do Baron fairly quickly, regardless of what he's built.
Oh, Harvard know now. They're like, wait, we did just play last game. This is not what we want. They're rushing towards the pit. Tempered Fate is on cooldown. True Shot Barrage is being used. Is he going to be able to get it? Oh, so close. Mad Life Smurf secures it. Boston University take the Baron.
You could tell that Yellow is a dirty Heimer picker. And not just a Heimer picker, he's a dirty
Oh, because
Heimer
now he's
picker.
going for the Rylai's. Oh, this is the best.
He's the dirtiest of dirty Heimers. Like, oh, but they ran the other way. Baron time! 23 minutes in, no AP, there's no problem. Just use the banner of command AP and we're good.
He doesn't have the portal. Oh, he dropped it.
Yep, he dropped it, and he hasn't used his banner just yet, but I'm sure when a cannon minion comes along, he'll be able to just throw down turrets, use the Baron buff, and the Baron banner cannon minion. This is insane.
This is so dirty. And you can see South Korea's looking around. Tempered Fate is going to lock him down. Here comes Growlin as well. Ground flash and dash gets him to safety. Foho Bear trying to flank, doesn't find it. There's the portal.
Oh, and this game was looking so good for Harvard at the start when Foho Bear had that gigantic advantage over Eddie Spaghetti. But, oh my god, Eddie Spaghetti, are you going for a portal too? It's who, Eddie Spaghetti?
Please, the more portals, the merrier. Mad Life gets stunned against a turret.
Portal's been so popular this week. I've seen a bunch of them in Europe. Like, what happened? Did I miss something? Is it just really strong now? I have to figure this out. I'm going to investigate
I don't actually know.
Solo Q, watch out. You see Irene in your game.
You should not friend him after. ask him if he's the real Zyrene, and if he picks Heimerdinger, then
yeah, I get that all the time.
You better hope he's on your team.
I get it all the time. I actually usually don't respond.
Are you the real Zyrene?
I like to concentrate when I'm playing. You ask me after the game.
Wait, are you actually the real Zyrene?
Ask me after the game.
Oh man, we got some solo queue guy in here trying to cover this game. I don't know what's going on. They found the portal this time, but there's a split push in the bottom lane. They're so focused on closing the portal, they're going to give up the bottom tier 1 turret.
Oh man, you don't get any great shards for closing the portal or anything. This isn't one of those games. You have to defend your objectives here.
They have closed the keyhole.
Oh no. But bottom side of the map, Eddie Spaghetti.
They're on the tier 2. There's no response from Harvard. This tier 2 is going down as well. Boston, they're out-rotating. They're out-pushing.
I feel like whenever that portal's placed down, the entire Harvard team is like, it's a Teemo!
Yellow gets tagged by a stun. They're going to try to lock him down. He flashes. Look at the size of that minion. It's going to be doing so much damage. He drops a turret as well. He's still alive, stunned. Once again, there's the knockup. He gets brought low, but he's still standing. This guy is unkillable. South Korea is going to drop. No, he makes it over the wall. Barbecue's already dead, and Harvard University are running for their lives.
And Barbecue goes down, but oh man, Yellow is so tanky. So that's the thing, is when you go this build, you are way tankier than people expect you to be because of the defensive stats on the portal, and then you also have a giant spell tier too. So Yellow, he's not as squishy as you would have thought, and takes him off guard. Those portals aren't as squishy either. Oh, they're still going.
Oh, Mad Life Smurf is caught out. He goes down to a teleport from Foho Bear. The flash kill. Growlin wants it. Growlin gets it. The inhibitor is there, but Foho Bear might lock them in. He gets slowed. Yellow still so very tanky with blue buff, able to toss out spell after spell. They're going to turn now back onto the inhibitor. Well, Eddie Spaghetti tries to zone away that rise.
Foho Bear trying to look through, see what he can do.
Gets disrupted out of his combo. The second snare lands. Eddie Spaghetti goes down to Foho Bear, and Harvard are going to try to turn this down, but they've already lost the inhibitor to the turret. Oh, the turret.
Oh, who needs a map?
And he's got the swag walk going on right now.
No. I can't believe this scored that.
This is amazing. Foho Bear 6-1-1, not able to put the team on his back as slowly but surely Harvard are falling further, even body blocking for the turret. This is amazing.
You can take my life, but you cannot take my turrets, my portals.
Oh man, and here comes the Rylai's by. This is the final nail in the tilt coffin. Unless he gets the Leandries after. There it is. Oh man, Seekers for Zonias.
Oh, the Zonias.
So
a lot of people do this build in reverse order because they really want to have the AP. They really want to have like the slow from their turret. They really want to be able to throw the big one down and then Zonias. But the fact he did it in this order,
this is amazing. Incredible. Yellow is an innovator and a genius.
I don't know if he's innovative because it's kind of one of the builds you see in solo queue.
The trolliest.
I've actually had a Karma do this build against me in mid lane.
What?
And
I
think it's the angriest I've ever been.
Because she just snares you.
I don't get angry at like League of Legends ever. I'm not tilted, but that made me angry.
Oh,
it was like we couldn't kill her. Everybody wants to kill her because you're programmed to be like, oh, it's a Karma, kill her. She's squishy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, she's super tanky.
She's tanky. She has AP.
You trade with her and then she W heals all the way back up. It's like, Mantra, stop.
Mantra.
You know what they say, karma's a... Well, she definitely was that day. But still, anyway, this game's sieging going down. Portal is once again...
And the turrets are being set up as well. Oh, Ezreal can one-shot them. Oh, he just needs to keep landing his skill shots, and he might be able to deny this push.
Oh, that's the days. Ezreal, blue Ezreal can do it. Oh no, Eddie Spaghetti has a portal too!
Oh no! And he's got one pushing on the far side. Oh my god.
Oh, when you can't fight them, make them fight minions. Oh.
They're trying to clear away this cannon minion. They succeed.
Oh, because of the lack of really hard engage on Harvard University's side, you can't stop this from happening, right? You don't have anything that's really going to start a fight. They could throw out the Tempered Fate maybe and catch people, but then the peel comes through, right? Now the Rylai's Crystal Scepter, when you walk through turrets, you're going to have to deal with the fact that there's also a Trundle Pillar. This is my cheeks hurt. I can't stop laughing.
The inhibitor looks to go down. The siege takes down the turret. The Void is successful in dropping one, looking for the inhibitor. They're just going to take it and leave.
Oh, no. Are they just going to leave? We'll see. Barbecue's got something to say.
The Tempered Fate finds the two carries. Barbecue's ready and waiting. Gets a huge knock-up Snapcast. Do they have enough damage? Yang goes down. Barbecue is deep in enemy territory. He's going to drop as well as 5 members look to fight this out. Foho Bear is joined up with the rest of his team. He gets shot down. 4 members are dead. Teleport 100 yards forward to take out Nexus turret number 1. And this could be the win for Boston University in what can only be described as an amazing fiesta of a game.
Strategical minds here at Boston University. They go 2-0 over Harvard and move themselves up to 6 points at 4-4. And they keep the tradition of beating Harvard alive.
Did somebody order Swiss? Because that was a lot of cheese.
Oh, man. That was Gouda.
It was great. The double CC Rot banner of command. So that's going to be the win. 2-0 for Boston University in that incredible game. And the fact that they were so patient with it, they were like, okay, our best player, our mid laner, is not going to take this game in a regular sort of serious mindset.
I mean, that looked pretty serious to me.
Sure, it was serious.
That was like the dirty try-hard Heimerdinger where you think he's not trying, but he is. So if you lock that in solo queue, people are going to be angry at you. But then when the game starts and it hits that point, they're going to be like, he's a genius.
They're going to flame him for the first 20 minutes. But after that, oh, here's when Yellow gets
Oh,
away.
it's like, oh, yes, damage him. And it's a tank and a support on him. And Yellow's able to just kite around. Young Jae Kim comes through, doesn't hit him with the Glitter Lance, but Yellow, he has enough stats at that point to get away from two very low damage healers. And Foho Bear gets zoned off on the side. Foho Bear's 4-1-1, and he's 30 CS up, and he was in such a great spot. And I think that just the dive that happened with where they were trying to kill the portal in the right side bottom bush in mid was where they just were like, what happened? Harvard just lost it at that point. I have no clue.
It's like they were chugging along. They were having a good time. Then they went for the portal, and just a wheel fell off. But they just kept going and going. They didn't know what to do.
Oh, man.
It was clever. They tried to respond by going to the bottom lane and ignoring the portal. But then that ended up hurting them later on once we started to see Boston split pushing effectively. That was beautiful. So
great.
Harvard did play well.
Harvard did, well, did they? They played well in game 1 to come back from a deficit. This game, it was a slow bleed. Their composition really couldn't do too much in the face of these portals and these banners and basically heralding the void into the rift. But they tried really hard, and you can see right now, Foho Bear's trying to come from the other side. He's the Fed member, 6-1-1. He's 40 CS up, but there's nothing he can do here. And it's just so frustrating. Foho Bear had a bad game last game, and this game, he's the only person on his team who's having a good game. Jason, of course, once again, being that kind of a rock and consistency for the team, but Yellow, please.
Yeah, I know. Boston University, they did come in with this new jungler whom they have not played with before, and they looked reasonably strong. In game number 1, sure, his ganks weren't always perfect, and he did have a tendency to sit and wait for a pretty long time to pull these ganks off, but in the end, he was landing the cocoons he needed to. He was buying time for his carries to do the damage he needed to.
Yeah, and the big thing about that is he played to the pace of the game, so he made sure that I'm going to go gank top because I think this is where Renekton needs help. Oh, well, it's counter ganked and I don't get out alive and a kill goes over and stuff like that. But I think that he's fine. I think that moving forward, even though he's the third string jungler, I think that there's a lot of grooming you can do for his routes and make it so that he's in a little bit more sync with the team. But from that point, I think this is a good starting game for him.
Yeah, certainly is a good starting point for Boston in general. Is now 2-0. That brings them up to 9 points in the standings. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look at the schedule in just a second, but this is pretty solid.
I think they're at 6.
No, they were. Oh, you're right. They're at 6 points. Yes.
Yeah.
So next week, we're going to take a look at the Clash of the Cowboys. It's Texas A&M versus University of Texas. Looks to be an exciting setup.
Yeah, Texas A&M has historically been a very good team in the South, and University of Texas has, from what I've been hearing, been very dominant lately. So it's kind of that matchup where it's number 1 team, number 2 team, back and forth in that region for a long time. But University of Texas has almost never come out on top.
Yeah, tricky situation. It's good to see them playing well, but that's going to do it for us. If you want to watch these VODs or find out more, head over to ulol.leagueoflegends.com. You can find VODs for these games, look up the teams and the players along with the current standings, in addition to finding a club near you to participate in your own collegiate League of Legends action. But as I said, that's it for our broadcast. Boston University with a solid 2-0. Don't go anywhere. Actually, do go somewhere. If you're here for a week, that's a problem. We're coming back next week with some more collegiate action. We'll see you then.